Let's go. Underground, back in the building. Still breathing. 2026. First show of the year, so to speak. Cam doesn't like the intro music, says it's too long. Oh, thank you for the feedback. And thank you, everybody, for the feedback, the 5x5s. Much love, Pure Bloods. Everybody out there, salutes. I see you, Virginia. Apocalypse Academy. Quantum, thank you. Steely. Skeepy, thank you for the super chats out the gate. Much love. Hope all is well. Mr. Windows in the house. Ava. Yeshua is king. And yeah, I seen some of you cats showing some love in the chat there before we got going. Much love to all you guys. Japan in the house. D White. Cicada with us. E Fitz. Paul. I hope all is well. Happy New Year officially. And good evening. Gunther says intro music not too long. Everybody's got their opinions. Much love. That one chick. Jailbroke. X-Rick. Tangerine. Dig. Sweet Barbara, Ohio. Susie Q. Jay from the Bill. Callie. Yeah. Much love. All right. So, well, wow. That year flew by, didn't it? 2025, just here we are, already on the ground running, a couple days into 2026. And I suspect this one's going to go probably just as quick. And plenty of events this year. I do think that this year is going to be a more action packed year than others. Let's just put it that way. If you need to get anything to me, Dabu7 is the email. Make sure to also hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed. If you want to get my attention, you could do like Callie did in the chat at me, lights it up in red. And I do thank anyone that supports the channel, super chats. PayPal is probably the best way, followed by coffees as well, except for my cats in the UK. If you're in the UK, please don't use coffee. Please use another method. Your government just likes to give people problems. A storm is coming. But, you know, with all the chaos, it's like you try to prepare for it the best you can, keep your eye on everything going on, but remain optimistic that you at least can try to create some positivity in the world. You, those around you, try to get something going. Thank you, Steve. Good to see you. Much love, brother. I want to thank everyone out there that sends prayers as well to get this new year started. It's always important. Anytime you got 2 or more people praying, there's power in that. Real power. So just don't forget that. And yeah, much love, Linda, Lisa, John Boy, John Malloy. Back to back there. We're going to get this thing going here. Plenty to cover. But want to start off here with I don't have CNN. I don't have cable. So I miss all this stuff. So knowing that they were going to do a little ball drop, you know, I decided we'll cover that. And we did. And it was cool. It was a good stream. I had to delete it. I told you. I knew it. Anytime I'm in the stream and I'm like, this stream's coming down, just be lucky you were there and you got it while it was hot. Because that's just how it rolls. How it goes around here. I don't question anything. When my gut, when my vibe says something to me, I just said it out loud. Just so you all knew, and I just kept on pushing. And there's not always one specific reason. There doesn't have to be. Because I could sit there all day wondering and guessing. I just go with the vibe. I go with the gut. It's never wrong. If it tells me that, when it never does, then it comes down. So it's just that simple. I have faith in the spirit. I have faith in those guiding me. Right? I'm going to play this clip, though. Start us off with a drunken rant here. Who is this? Andy Cohen. I guess this is this what's this guy on the right's name? I cannot believe I'm drawing a blank on his name. I keep wanting to say Spencer. What is his name? I cannot believe it's Anderson Cooper. Come on. You think I'd do that like forever? You know, Anderson Cooper is definitely a plant of the establishment, and I know this. They've made sure to keep him in front of someone like me, in front of my eyes, since middle school. When we were in middle school, I'll never forget. I was ticked off. They came in and they were handing out these pouches, fluoride. They want everybody swishing around their mouth, do all this crap, and you know, I wasn't about it. So I used to always fake it, do all this other stuff. Well, I'll never forget that was like a traumatic thing for me because they were like trying to force people. And I was like, no, like, I ain't doing this crap. Other cats, they're like, oh, it's bubblegum flavor. Give me another one. And it's just like, you idiots. Like, I knew back then, like, something wasn't right about it. Just, again, off the vibe, the sense, the push. Like, it wasn't right. Not to mention the first time I opened up the packet, I smelled it. I'm like, man, this isn't right, man. Like, my parents know about this? Like, but I'd look up on the screen every day on the TV in the room. They would start Channel 1. Same time they'd roll in the fluoride. And Channel 1 had Anderson Cooper. A young Anderson Cooper. First time I'd ever seen or heard of him. He was on Channel 1. It's probably when he started his career. And they made sure that for like my generation, not only were they seeding him into the classroom through Channel 1 to make sure everyone was seeing this guy, but then all through your life, he was a constant. All the way to this day, he's still there. It's like the entire time the shill was planted there by the man. How does that make you feel? It makes me feel good that I can see it and I can call it out. And hopefully bring awareness to everything, because there's other ones out there. I don't even know what's going on in everyone's classroom these days. I mean, gosh, who knows what all they're showing them, but the same type of thing. You can bet that they're putting certain people in front of the youth that they plan to have in front of them for a long time, showing to them everything that they want. But I don't know if Andy Cohen is his boyfriend or his I'm gonna get this stream brought down. I don't want to, so I'm just gonna keep it clean here. Or his husband or here. I don't know the relationship here, but it seems like he calls him sweetie, and it's kind of lovey-dovey with him. Anderson is with this guy. I'll play the clip and let you guys see.
Hey, watching the final moments of Mayor Adams' chaotic.
Or are we going on a De Blasio style?
No.
Oh no.
I just want to say.
Don't.
I mean, he got his pardons. He's
Andy, we gotta cut you off.
No,
I've seen this happen.
No, I'm just saying. Great, you got your pardons. Go off into
after
the
midnight.
sunset.
It's after.
We'll
Sweetie.
fiddle with what we have, with what you've left us
This is
with.
the thing with you and mayors, man.
Go dance away. We'll see you at all the parties.
He can't help himself.
You've
can't
partied
help
your
himself.
way through.
We will see you at Zero Bond.
And you've got we'll see you at
12:30.
I can't handle no more. So this is what everyone was hit with watching TV? Huh? Really? So glad that I don't participate in this crap. I can't stand it. Like, I'd probably punch a hole in my TV. But I can't my monitor. I need it too bad. Do you know that Anderson Cooper is the son of Gloria Vanderbilt of the Vanderbilt robber baron family? He is verified in the club member bloodline, and that comes from researcher from Kev Bar. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Big time. In the comment, all of it. Much love, my man. I hope all is good. Hope to see you again someday. Before this is all said and done. Thank you so much, bro. Do you know, before I forget here, it slips my mind, apparently somebody won on Polymarket. And I kind of like Polymarket because, I mean, gambling is one thing, but then like the odds, some of the things are just based on like, there's the odds thing and like anything can go. It's not like, I don't know. They'll be I'll give you this example. One of the questions was, what will be one of the first things that happens that they show as soon as the ball drops? Okay. That was a question. And one of the answers was some gay guys kissing. And some people put some money on this. Kind of probably thinking like, yo, they're probably going to do that, and they were right. It was a good bet. They won $300,000 simply off Polymarket, off a simple little thing like that. Huge money. Just remember that, because Polymarket's probably around to stay for a while, and just remember patterns and things like that, because things will come back around. They will. Trust me. Just like this isn't the first time that's happened. And somebody probably had that in their memory bank and seen that as an option and was like, or put it down like, yo, I'm going with this. Yeah, it paid off big. But it's crazy to think that the whole world, one of the most viewed things in the world, which is the ball drop, you get hit with the propaganda this hard. It's bad. It's bad. I personally don't want to see it. But they don't care what we think, huh? All they care is what they think. I don't know. When I was coming up, it doesn't matter if it was a dude and his girlfriend, somebody seeing you kissing, and be like, oh, get a room, this and that. Like, same kind of concept, doesn't matter who it is, but sitting there tonguing, and all this stuff, right? So it doesn't matter if it's two dudes or what at this point, but it doesn't make me happy. Especially knowing that it's propaganda. Okay. It's one thing for people to be out there just doing things, but like, I'm so sick of the propaganda. Kids getting hit with it. We've got eyes to see. We've developed eyes to see. It's something against, people that are gay. I have nothing against people that are gay. I have an aunt that was gay, R.I.P. And she was cool, nice as could be. They never did none of that in front of them. There was none of that ever. Like at a family event, you never kissed all over each other. There was nothing disrespectful. Okay, so and we loved and accepted, but I don't know. It just, it's what it is with the agendas. I guess all we can do is sit there and do discernment on them. And Kimmy, thank you for the coffee. Much love. God bless. Much love to everybody out there. Yes, blessed Friday. Happy New Year to all. Shabbat Shalom. May peace be with you all for the rest of this year. Forever. But I'm a realist at the same time. And to make it throughout this year without some kind of hell happening, it's unrealistic. I wish us the best in maneuvering past what they're going to throw at us. All right, let's go to space. Start this thing off here. I mentioned this before, and this is something I really am intrigued about, because I think that at this moment in time in history, with the technology we got, and with enough eyes, enough people wanting to know, I think we can bust them. We either bust them or like some things really happen. They're talking about going to the moon. Okay? And talking about going to the moon and sending astronauts to the moon. Like the first humans in my life, to the moon or into lunar orbit, at least as soon as February. If you're in lunar orbit, we can still see you, unless they want to play this little game where everything they do, they want to go hide behind the backside of the moon, which is still ridiculous. They can try that. first off, they got to get there. And to get there, they have to make it there. They have to travel there. They have to fly there with the rocket that has fire coming off of it, which you can watch take off from Florida or wherever, and watch it go all the way. And I've said this before, and I say it again. If this thing forks off over the horizon out of your view, I'm playing that game. This thing should go straight up and up toward the moon. Shouldn't be any camera cuts. There should be 1,000 telescopes out here locked onto this thing when it happens. 1,000. Like with I'm gonna make sure of it. I'm gonna make sure that all the guys that I know, Dob Sony, anybody else out there, that they're locked on to this project if they can. Artemis 2. Because by then, by February, Atlas, 3i Atlas that they're all watching will be really pulled up out of here a good ways. Should be. And Artemis 2 is going to be going up in a lunar orbit. So this is going to be, man, they can't hide this is what I'm trying to tell you. And you should know this. Common sense, man. Go outside. Tonight's a full moon. Go out there and look at that bright moon. Last night, I was sitting there looking out the window. I was like, man, what is going on? I didn't know what was going on. Everything was lit up. I stopped and I looked. I was like, man, it's a beautiful night. Directly, straight right above me, right overhead, a full moon. What looked like a full moon, whether it was last night or tonight. And it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it just lit everything up, man. You could have gone for a walk. Maybe not out in these mountains, but seen something earlier today. I don't know what it was neither. Rather large. I kept wanting to think maybe it was a deer, but I don't think so. The back leg's bent like a cat. Might have been a bobcat. It would have been a big one. I did not see a long tail, but it disappeared on me in the mountains. You never know what you're going to run into out here. I watched for like 20 minutes, like waiting to see it pop back out. Like, hold on, what do we got going on here? Because you just never know. Anyhow, we're going to watch that, keep some eyes on it. I'll update when they launch on that. This next one is also connected to space. The DC home of an active duty Space Force officer was broken into, was robbed and vandalized, and then set on fire. So a Space Force officer is this really suspect. I wonder what they got. Wonder what they went in there they were going for. They robbed him, but of what? Vandalized. They set the place on fire. Okay, destroy any evidence. Interesting. Wonder what he had. Just feels like something more is there. If I get anything on it, I'll update you guys. All right, on to some earthquakes. I told you we had one here in Kentucky here this past week, a 3.1, and then some activity around New Madrid, also some West Coast activity. Now 6.3 striking near Mexico City. It's a decent quake. You cross 3, it can cause damage. We've seen damage done in Mexico City here past 5 years, within the past 5 years, with quakes about this size. You get up to 6, 7, you're talking some damage. And thank you, Florian. I hope I said that right, Florian, for the PayPal. I appreciate that to the fullest. And much love back to you. If you guys ever feel any of this earthquake activity, let me know. I'd love to know firsthand. Listen in the chat or whatever. Whatever it is. Got something that deserves reporting on, let me know. Try my best. All too often, I will tell you though that a ton of stuff gets sent to my spam, and I don't check the spam all the time. But like when I got people like, "Yo, did you get this? You get this?" I'm like, "Man, no." They keep saying it. I'm like, I'm not seeing nothing. Like I go looking at the spam, digging in there, and then all of a sudden, I'm finding stuff and it ticks me off, but it's what they do to me. Florida moving to ban paper straws, and it's for a reason. I know plastic and microplastics, all this stuff, it's not any better, but if things are designed a certain way, they prove to be healthier than other things. For instance, here, paper straws. I don't know if you've ever seen them, used them. They're different than other, per se, plastic straws. There's certain levels of PFASs out there, forever chemicals, that are allowed and everything, right? You definitely don't want nothing in like your straws and this and that. You're probably better off going out and buying a copper straw. I'll tell you straight up, because it kills bacteria naturally. That's why you want copper in your home, and the Egyptians knew this and other ancients. The copper naturally is an antibacterial metal. It has properties like that. That's wild, almost like magic, but it's real. That's there's so much more here than what they teach people and show people. But yeah, the paper straws are giving off these forever chemicals big time. So much so that the readings are through the roof, and they're banning them. So if you're using them, I don't know if I've ever even seen a paper straw, to be honest with you. They suck, but not in a good way, huh, Spiro? Yeah, so just a heads up there. It's checking out to be a poisonous thing. And I was just telling you about the wild animals. We have a woman in Colorado Springs mauled by a mountain lion, and she was killed. We had 2 hikers found this mountain lion standing over a woman's body New Year's Day around noon. Colorado Parks and Wildlife Management were called to the scene. The hikers threw rocks at the mountain lion to scare it away, and then made a grim discovery that it took down the woman. This is why you cannot travel in the mountains alone, unprepared. You need to always be with at least one other person, and you need to be prepared. At minimum, some kind of stick or bear spray as well. I'd say a knife. I don't go anywhere out here without a base. It don't matter. Like, it just don't matter. My dad taught me a long time ago. My dad came up in the mountains and when he was young, and all the stories of, even from the guys around here, of the panthers. That's the one thing that they talk about around my neck of the woods more than anything. Everyone's got their story of the Black Panther. So you wouldn't think that in Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky, Appalachian Mountains, but it's the case. Like, there's all kinds of wild animals around here. Like I said, I saw something crazy earlier across the road and blew me away. I sat there watching for a while because we've caught on camera here a big cat with a huge torso, a huge back torso. Look at a cat. It was a cat. It was huge, bigger than what a bobcat gets. So that's when you jump into mountain lion talk, and like all these guys got the stories again of the Black Panther creeping throughout. And what I saw today was black. That's why I said, what do deer? Its back legs were bent like a cat's, and it wasn't no deer. Not to mention it shot up the side of the mountain like it looked like. Now more and more I think about it, look at a cat. Which is, this is a perfect example. You gotta stay on top of that. You can't ignore it. You gotta take note, heed note. I was coming up the driveway here this past year, and right in front of me ran bobcat, and we went down working on the road. And over the summer, like this past year, within this past year, and something was up above us, like making the most god awful noise. And it was a big cat, like growl, like warning us. So yeah, so we got these things and big bears on camera, So just gotta be careful out there, man. Never want to be out there alone without protection, man. In the wild is the wild. Here's another one right here. Look at this. For a month, a black bear has been living in the basement of a house in California. The homeowner is suing authorities because they're unable or unwilling to remove it. This is curious. I'll play a little video clip here. This guy just breaking in. It's got to be a headache for the homeowner, but
Johnson says the bear moved under his Altadena home just before Thanksgiving and never really left.
If I kept track of everything I tried, it would be, bear 14, homeowner 0.
California Department of Fish and Wildlife stepped in at first, setting a trap near the crawl space. But instead of catching the large bear under Johnson's home, the trap caught a smaller bear, the wrong one. That bear was hauled away and the bigger bear stayed put.
Well, I was kind of sad for the other bear at first, but then I'm like, well, if this bear comes out now, where's he going to go?
Biologists later tried again using air horns to flush the bear out. Johnson says it looked like it was finally working until he says they suddenly got a call ordering them to stand down.
Very defeated. Oh, yeah. I mean, I just dropped because well, now what? It's all up to me? And what, I'm supposed to watch my phone when he comes out in the middle of the night? Or sleep in the kitchen and listen for him every night? I even asked, okay, so as long as you guys are gone, can I still use the bait to get him? No, can't do that.
Since then, Johnson says he can hear the bear moving around, presumably doing a lot of damage under his home.
You can hear the plastic being shredded underneath, and even one of the cameras picked it up, just bulldozing through it. It's a mess under there.
This video of a broken pipe prompted him to shut off his gas on Christmas Eve, and he hasn't had any hot water since.
I'm just exhausted from the whole thing.
That's ridiculous.
I get my mind off it for a little bit, and then suddenly I get flooded back with, oh, that's right, can't take a hot shower. I got to monitor the situation all the time. Every time my phone buzzes, it's like, is that him? Do I have to go and keep him away?
Now, Johnson says he plans to sue, accusing the agency of negligence and emotional distress.
Because this has gone on long enough, and it's something that they should deal with. I mean, it's a tagged bear. They've dealt with it before. They chose not to euthanize it, and now it's back. And
then it's a nuisance, and that's ridiculous. It's one thing. It's one thing if you're willing to deal with something like this. This is unacceptable, period. It's one thing if you're out, say up here where I'm at. People have been known to do it. People do it in Russia all the time. They'll take bears as pets, and raise them. Or maybe they'll find a cub and they'll have no choice. Either let it go on its own and maybe die, or raise it. And it becomes accustomed to being around them. But they have their own spot, and they know the bear since it was a baby, and that makes a big difference. Some wild big bear just getting underneath your house is going to destroy your house. The fact that it's busted lines and other people are not concerned, everyone should be concerned. He should have a lawsuit here, in my opinion. He should be able to sue the holy crap out of Fish and Wildlife here. And whoever made the call, the stand down call, should be fired. The bear could kill a lot of people just by blowing a house up, breaking the gas line, like you said there, which it's already done. They're lucky it didn't blow up. But now he's got to go with that hot shower. He can't even fix nothing. It looks like it took out the ventilation, bringing heat or air as well. It looks like it's a big bear. It looks like it's a small one. It's a good sized bear. So, um, I don't believe in killing the animals neither. I mean, but I just don't understand with today's technology. Like, it doesn't seem like they tried a lot. In other instances, I've seen these guys come out, pull the dart gun out, dart the bear, get it. And I understand it's in a tight spot. They can't drag it out. Of trying to get it out first. But you dart the bear, put it out, you know, get it in a cage or whatever, take it somewhere safe and release it, far away up in the mountains. This is a tagged bear that's done this before. They just said it. So it's coming back into the area. It needs to be taken deep out into the wilderness and dropped off if that's the case. But hey, something you're going to deal with out there. I just think that's crazy. He should not have to deal with that. If you guys have any issues with any animals, let me know. I have one about the same size, a huge one. They call him Scar. Big old bear, right at 100 yards from where I'm sitting. Caught him on camera. And he's not the only one. We got others. But he's a big one. And they were trying to hunt him here a few months back. It was out of season. So all they could do is chase him with dogs. And I heard the ruckus coming up through the mountain to the holler and everything else. And I heard all these dogs barking, going crazy, coming up, and it sounded like they were coming up right on me. So I went down there and I let off some rounds. Like, man, boys, I don't know what you're doing, but like, you better back up, The next thing I know, one of the neighbor dudes come tearing up the driveway. We're like, hey, boy, he's got some good old boys down there chasing the bear and some dogs. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, they're chasing Scar. And when he said Scar, it hit me. I was like, that's the one off the camera. The big one's got a huge scar on the left side of him. A big one. But, they were chasing him right toward me. Nobody was warning me. If I wouldn't have been out there with a gun or anything, they were running him right toward me. So, but he never messed with me. He never messed with us. Like, I don't know. I got different aura with animals. It seems animals in distress find their way to us. It seems, but like outside of that, they go about their business, which is the way I like it. But stay at a safe distance. Just be smart out there, y'all. All right. Jumping into the next phase. This is a psychic issuing dire warnings for 2026. I'm just going to let you get a little taste of this here. It's like 50 seconds long. Just to see kind of who we're dealing with here.
It's mainly important not to go into the energy of fear, Jeff. I am a firm believer in preparation energy as opposed to fear-based energy. It goes back to the local farmers markets. I feel it's really important for us to start looking at purchasing more local food and resources like that. Listen to your own intuition. There's a lot of changes coming. There's a lot of earth changes coming. I see land shifting. I see a lot of different events like that. And it's important for us to be in a place of preparation.
So she sees land shifting. Okay, there was the key takeaways I took out of all this, and what she was saying, land shifting repeatedly throughout this, and kind of grabs my attention. I mean, the sad thing about the psychic stuff is over the years, it's just been like you see so many fakes come along. You know what I'm saying? There's real psychics out there, man. There's real people with real abilities, but then you have these people that come along and, fake it. And I don't know, we've seen a lot over the years. You guys remember one? There's a guy that comes to my mind right now, and I wonder about him. I wonder if he's still out there doing what he was doing back when I was young. His name's John Edwards. You guys remember old John Edwards? Psychic, used to have everybody on stage. He's around the same time as Montel, something. Years ago, John Edwards, psychic. I just think, yeah, he's the real deal. This real deal psychic. I mean, he was a likable character, but then how many of these cats are fakes and frauds? You know, I've seen a ton of it, but I know there's some real deal cats out there. I don't know. The psychic stuff. Just for instance, there's the modern day Nostradamus. Okay, he's out there right now making his own predictions too. Past couple years, he's popped up, but he's been wrong. I don't know why he's even popped up again. He was flat wrong. Many times on all types of other stuff. I don't even know why. He's already made a name as the modern day Nostradamus, so I guess they're gonna bring him up. But he sucks. He's nowhere near good. So you bring up Sylvia Brown. Yeah, I remember what she used to call her. She used to look so. I mean, is she dead? Is she dead? I remember she used to look so creepy to me. Nothing against her, man. She just looked like she fit the role. Let's just put it that way. She fit the role of someone that, you know. I remember those days, man. I was watching the comments now. Everybody talking about Montel in those days, man. Oh, she is dead. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, no one lives forever, right? But some of them, put in some good work. I will say that there was some investigations and stuff that I did see Sylvia work with, where she did help solve investigations. I remember seeing that. So that's commendable. Anytime you can help solve a case, especially a murder, and help a soul pass that's stuck. You have to wonder what that's like. I don't know. I wonder about it's happened to me. I have weird things happen to me that I can't explain. I have an aunt, R.I.P., that used to have some abilities. No one ever wanted to tell me 100% what she did for the government. She worked with the government and some different stuff at some time, and she had some abilities. And I often wonder, do I have a piece of that? Like, I have something going on with dead people, with the other side, so to speak. I can't control it. I've said it many times before. It's like a window. It's like a window in the back of my mind. It's like behind me. It's like in the back of if you can imagine it's sitting there, and all of a sudden in the back of your head, the back of your mind, like a light comes on, like you feel like someone's behind you. Okay, like watching, and it's just I don't know. It's like a window where souls I can see, where they can see me. I've literally had them say something to me, like, I can see you, like, it's been crazy. And a lot of times this happens in dreamland when I'm dreaming. I'll come out of my dream knowing, wanting to go back into it. Like, I was just with my buddy Jason and talking to him for real. And like, I don't know about you, but like I've realized that when I'm in the dream, that's crazy. It's a crazy thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. You should look on everyone's face in my dream when I'm in a dream. I know I'm in a dream. I'm in a dream, dude. Like, I get so excited I wake up from it, and then I try to go back into it. I can't. I I've had some craziness with dreams and all that. I've astral projected. Really not knowing that I did it. I thought I was gonna die because I left my body. And it was surreal, as real as right now. And walking outside, and feeling the wind and everything. It was as real as all of it. Um, I lifted up out of the house, down over and into the driveway, just as the sun was coming up. And I could see everything. And I came down on the ground. And I was just like in awe. I jumped and I floated. And I kept thinking, like, dude, what am I doing? Where am I at? Because I didn't try to do it. And I went back toward the house, wanting to look in the room, like, I'm in that room. I know I'm in, and it sucked me back in. I can't control that. Oh, well, maybe people can. People astral project, but I didn't try that time. I thought I was going to die when it happened to me. I thought I was going to die in the house. There's no way, because it was that real. It was that real. I just didn't realize what was happening. That it's all part of a process where you can leave your body. You can astral project. You can. You're attached to the silver cord. This is how they do a lot of their stuff. This is how your remote viewing, so to speak, some of the best out there that's ever done it, this and that. This is how it's all possible. Everything is, this world's multi-dimensional, and we operate in 3D. So when you start to understand that the fourth dimension, the realms right around us are real, and you pay attention to them, and you understand that there's something there, there's intelligence in there, there's entities in there that manipulate this place, and all this other stuff, it changes everything. Or you go on your life being blind to it. I, for one, can't. When the curtain gets ripped down, and once you see everything, you see it, and there's no going back. Plus, I want to know everything. I want to know how this place really works and operates. And I want to utilize my tools I want to try it to the best of my ability before we're out of here. Jesus said we go on to do greater things than he. Well, I'm like, well, I want to break, piece of bread off and save a bunch of people and multiply it and feed the poor. I want to do things like this. Just amazing things, but you have the ability to do this. I've said it before, to speak things into existence. Now, before I move on, I want to update off last stream. I asked everybody to start doing something. I asked you to stop cursing yourself. New Year's resolution, baby. Underground style. You didn't have one? I present you one. I want you to stop cursing yourself. And how you do this is you observe on a daily basis what you're doing, every little thing you do. And if you need to, write it down. That's something I didn't say last time. Write it down and realize, the whole goal is to realize what you're doing and to correct it. Because, again, if you missed the last show, I know it got deleted. What I was saying was that you have power. You're a creator, to speak things into existence in this realm. And you've been programmed in so many ways to speak these negative things into your life, to where people get sucked into repeated patterns, to where they say, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. Or, I'll never be able to do that. I'll never be able to do this. Anytime you're doing any of that, I'm like, I can't do that. You're constraining yourself. You really are. You should never say, like, I'm an idiot. I can't do it. I'm not that smart. Or I can't remember anything. You need to not say those things. Be honest with you. It's going to take practice, but you need to reset all these negative things that you're saying about yourself, because you have the power to speak anything and everything into existence. And you are collapsing down around you a reality of negativity. You're speaking it into existence. I'm trying to get you to consciously be aware of it. Once you are, hopefully you'll seek out more. But and drop jewels. Gonna keep it pushing here, man. Got a lot to cover here. Where are we at? Already coming up on the top of the hour. All right. Let me go over and check the chat real quick again. Much love. Thank you, Wake Up America, for the coffees. Thank you for the emails, guys. I'll get caught up on reading everything when the show's over, as always. Let's jump into Samsung. The CEO is saying that they're back in a rare remark, and it sparked a stock surge. The big news with Samsung anyway was the battery technology that's being utilized and being rolled out. It's game changing. UBS says soaring memory chip prices to turbocharge Samsung's earnings. So when it comes to these chips and it comes to the batteries, both hand in hand, this Samsung's blowing up. I mean, people see it already. They're going to be around for a minute, and the new battery technology that they're going to be rolling out is going to be a game changer. Now, of course, precious metals play big when it comes to all this stuff. And not only is gold and silver utilized as a money, but they're also used in the industrial world. And there kind of lies a conflict of interest, because there's only so much of it to go around, right? Granted, they could find a new pit with gold in it, but there's only so much made ever, right? Gold's going through the roof, and gold is the catalyst. It's the leader here. I really see gold crossing 20,000, like 2030, definitely 2035. We're like, where we have 45, so we're like knocking at the door of 5. Any big peace events that happen, any big positive, like peaceful type of events that happen globally, will affect the markets. They always do, in a way to where they pull back. Okay, it's when things are stressed and big war and you don't know what's going on, something's about to pop off. That's when things run, and that's where we've been in the running. But guaranteed that when things cool off for war or even economic, like with China or whatever else, that's when you'll see a pullback. And here recently, you kind of saw a little bit of that with gold when Trump pulled back, with the whole tariff thing with China. But now China's retaliating, and I'll get more into that here in a minute. But that has to do more with silver. Silver, now you have to have a license, a special license, to be able to export it out of China. Okay. I'm guessing that, that's going to affect gold the same way. No one's talking about it. I don't see how you would have to have a special license for silver and not gold, when they're both precious metals and gold is chief among the two. So this whole lack of metals out of China is a big deal. Now, let's go over and take a look at silver spot price. Okay, this is the paper markets by the West. Heavily rigged, heavily manipulated, as you can see here. Thank you, Dreadlock. Much love. Remember, JP Morgan Chase in the past rigged and manipulated the market, the precious metals market that they control. They control the prices of all the stuff. They got caught doing it. They made $100 billion, and they got a smack on the wrist and got fined $1 billion. Cost to play the game, huh? So they scandalously make 99 billion. Cough up the one, pay the dues. And are you kidding me? But this is the track record. The same ones that have been caught time and time again. They've even had people go to jail for this and get let out early. They've been busted. All right. So this is nothing new. It's not a conspiracy or a wonder. Is it rigged? It is rigged. Okay. And this is how it's rigged here. The paper market is futures. Okay. And what futures are is like if you go and you take a gold bar or a silver bar to a bank and you deposit it, what that bank will turn around and do is lend that out per se. Or they'll lend money out on that bar to 100 other people. And they're screwed if everybody wants to come back and get their gold bar at once, because they're not going to have it to cover. That's the paper game. It's leverage. And that's what's screwed up about it. I never understood how it was even legal to do. But that's how it operates. And people go 10x, 50x, 100x leverage, borrowing someone else's money. But then you can also get liquidated. And when you see these prices running up really fast, up and down, what you're seeing is somebody, a whale, somebody in the game. This goes for everything, every stock, for gold, for Bitcoin, for all of them. What they're doing is they're wiping out longs and shorts. So when this thing dumps out of nowhere anywhere, anyone that was going long, they just get their longs wiped out, right? So, and then sometimes you'll see after a dump, they'll let it go a little bit, make it look like it caught. People try to set a new long. They'll dump it again afterwards, and they'll get them again. And people think that, this thing's dumping out, and they'll start setting shorts. And as soon as they see that a ton of shorts are set, they'll rip it long to wipe out the shorts. And they'll do this a couple times to try to clear everything out before a major move. And that major move is usually an up move. They want as few people in it as possible, and they shake everybody out that way. Do you see? That's how it works. Okay, so silver, paper market. This is not the real price globally. Let me tell you, all the other markets are almost at $100 or above. There's some markets out there, silver is over 100. So everyone thought today or yesterday, when the market opened or whatever, that this thing would go bananas, but that's not the case. The same goons are controlling it. Now listen, let me give you an example of how bad this is. They injected $74 billion into the economy overnight. It's an overnight repo. For people that don't know what that is, we are screwed, okay? 2 banks alone, just 2 banks, okay? They are in debt. They're in debt. 4.4 billion ounces of silver, okay? On shorts right now. That's how much they owe out. 4.4 billion. We only bring in 800 million ounces of silver a year on this planet. You're talking they'd have to buy every ounce for the next 5 years to cover their bases. Just 2 banks. We are still sitting there. Ain't nothing changed. Except for the fact that it gets worse. Every day it gets worse because silver is now something that's not just being bought as a hedge, as a currency. It is a industrial metal. Everyone's going to be throwing this in the basket if they don't already have it there. It's national security. For real. The silver is been held down and suppressed for so long. Let me show you something here. Look at this. This is why I tell you, this is why everybody that's been in the silver thus far has made a killing. I mean, people's made 5, 6 X's out there. People coming back telling me their stories, man. Every week, thanking me for getting them into silver and gold. Well, you're welcome. And it's just getting started, baby. I'm glad you made a good come up because now you got a good nest from here on out. Now, look down here at this gold to silver ratio. You're going to see, and I've said this before, I keep saying that. But you need to know where we're at, where this whole game sits. And you don't want to miss this bus. You don't want to miss the train, so to speak. Silver train. We're at a 60-1 ratio. Gold to silver, okay? 60-1. Just remember that. So silver, gold, 60-1 ratio. Lock that in your brain. So you back it out here. Let's go to the all. It goes back to 1996 on the chart. Of course, the market goes back further than that, but APMEX only goes back to February 26, 1996. What's very possible here within these ranges are something you can see here, 113. That's really bad. That's a huge gap. That's where there's a huge gap between gold and silver. That's usually when gold's taking off running on its initial run, which is what it was doing there. It kind of left silver behind, but then silver and all the other metals got to catch up. There's a catch-up game. So we knew it had to break that. It had to break that level it was at. Silver, it was being suppressed, and once it busted out of it, it ripped through 60, ripped through 70, right up into the 80s. And finally it's pulling back some, but check it out. When you go back to right here, this is 2011, you can see we were closer to a 30-1, 33-1 to be exact, 33-1 ratio. This is a ratio they believe that it just within the cycles of the cycles work, it will bounce back to here at some point. So just that alone, you've got a 30-1 to make up. You've got a freaking 30-1 to make up, catching up with gold. Now, do you think gold's going anywhere anytime soon south? I do not think so. We still have a 30-1 to catch up with silver on gold. Okay? Period. Okay? And thank you, Kenzo. That's huge. That's huge gains. Okay. I follow a ton of silver brokers, a bunch of metal guys, a bunch of the top guys. I'm seeing some of the wildest charts. I've been screenshotting them and saving them, man, because I've even kicked some of them out. Like they're nuts what these guys are calling. But this isn't on speculation like all this other crap. This is for really good reason, and they're right when they say it, because this is the silver's market is already in debt like billions of ounces. When you understand all this, this thing is set to explode. And like everyone that pays attention to the market knows it. Now they're sitting there looking around the world and they're like, hold up, this thing's decoupling. All the rest of the markets are going like to $100 or higher. And like they're keeping the paper market over here. Like, dude, something is about to explode. So look, silver at 72, 73 bucks right now, whatever it's at. Like, bring this thing down. Bring it down. It as low as it come down. 73.54. If this thing come down to 60s, 50s, I would gobble like Pac-Man, like hungry hippos, all day on this. I'm serious. You're looking for a retirement. You're looking for a nest egg, something true. It's going to bring you some real gains. Well, this is proven, and the game's just getting going, just getting started, baby. Again, the only asterisk to all this is your government. That they want to play the game to come and take your stuff. And why would they ever do that? I don't know. Maybe economic reset. I don't know. Maybe a Fort Knox that's empty. Man, I feel like the protesting, like the patriotism in this country is broke. There's nothing. There should be like a large group of people, no matter what, still protesting, screaming, and shouting down Trump outside the White House every night so we didn't sleep right, letting him know there's issues that need to go down. There's things that need to be resolved. And one of them is, you promised us Fort Knox. Cameras in Fort Knox. Audits on Fort Knox. Like, what about it? But since nobody does anything, it's out of sight, out of mind. Of course, we're all sitting there thinking about it. But because there's no pressure, it gets slid to the back burner. Literally, it's like nothing's brought up unless he says something about it. They're smart enough to know. I'm surprised they kept bringing up this Epstein stuff, but this last time, it was the Dems that brought this all up again. Experts say the precious metal rally will continue. I believe it. You might want to, I'd rather have silver versus Bitcoin, to be honest, as well. By far, all day long. All day long. I'd rather have something physical currency that I can hold on to, whether fiat or gold or whatever, versus the digital, all day, any day. Because they can just strip and steal and hack and take all that stuff very easily and leave you just stuck like Chuck. Yeah, it would suck to be him. Yeah, you don't want to. Anyhow, these barbarous relics, gold and silver, man, I'm telling you, it's going to keep on thriving, keep on shining. As I say, buy the dip, let it rip, sell that tip, sit back and sip. Hey, man, this game's just going $1,000. I see guys putting this at $3,000 by what I told you, by 2035, which is nuts, which is crazy. Happy New Year's. Right back at you. Mark Park. Keep it pushing. Looky who's getting sued for being a butt pirate. Or allegedly like trying to do sexual stuff to young men and groom them and threaten them, and tons of sexual harassment here. That's what this young dude's saying. This male violinist is accusing Will Smith of sexual harassment and creating a traumatic series of events during his tour. This is Brian King Joseph, professional musician here, filed a suit against Smith and his company, Trey Ball Studio Management. So this is going down in LA. He's alleging that Smith was deliberately grooming and priming him for further sexual exploitation after inviting him to join the tour. For further sexual, that means there had to be something sexual going on here. Uh-oh, Willie. You know that these people are pure evil. And like, he doesn't stay true to no vows to Jada or nothing like that. She don't stay true to no vows to him. She was with different people, and he let her be with them. These people are part of an occult thing, man, that like you just won't understand unless you study it. 3K silver is crazy. They said the same thing about gold. We've done surpassed it. I'm talking like 5 years out. So many people just want to get rich quick, and it don't work. That's where you get rooked and shook and took every time. Right? I think the last Bitcoin cycle here, the crypto cycle, the big thing was like meme coins and all that stuff. Well, that ain't nothing but gambling all day long. That's not invested into a real anything. It's gambling all day long. It's all it is. I tried to create a real project out of it, and it seemed like it couldn't even get off the ground because everyone just all is stuck in that mindset of just pump and dump, and that's ridiculous. Like, in pump and dump. It's all people can think about. So you got to be able to, and that's been the key here with silver. You invest in it and you stay invested in it. Put your money in it, keep it in it for the long haul, and let it grow over time. Now, silver and gold got exposure like no other thing on the freaking planet. Everywhere. Every bank's buying into it. Every country is using it for different reasons in mass, and there's only so much of it. And you can argue there's only so much of Bitcoin, but like Bitcoin can get crippled instant. Like, in an instant, they are behind Bitcoin. Right? All right. I'd rather go with something God created, throughout nature. Anything that man's created, Kev Barr says Trump at 2024 drones of the East Coast reveal Fort Knox reveal. Trump in office 2025 no drone explanation, no Fort Knox report. He's 0 for 2. He sure is, and thank you for the super chat again, bro. He is 0 for 2. Reset coming? Yes, it's definitely. We're here. Here we are. We're in 2026, y'all. We're in it. It's here, just like that. Ain't no going back to nothing. I go back to 1995. Oh man. If you could turn back time, that old Cher song, huh? If you could go back, when would you go back? I go back to 1995. September 10th, to be exact. Why? Because my mom played a video Christmas, had all my relatives in it that are dead and gone. And I was like 15. Come on. If I go back in time, and take the knowledge you have now with you. Are you kidding me? What kind of trail you would blaze? You know how this whole thing's worked. They probably pick you off, you'd shorten your span because all the damage you would do. Unless you played your cards right. And you were slick about it, smooth about it. But if you went to like do anything altering or messing with their plans, you could probably get rich and like sit off in the shadows and like live your life and like be done. But if you go messing with any of their agendas, they're definitely going to get you. Yeah. That's in my life. If you could go back in any point in history, where would you go back? I don't know. I'd probably go back to like the day they killed Kennedy. I'd probably like run out in front of the convoy or something. Just crazy. Like, kind of ruin the whole event, change history. You're like, damn it, we gotta do the whole thing again. Like, good luck, partner. Like, would it have mattered? The drivers want to turn around and capped him anyway with the good shot. It's good luck. Anyhow, big Will Smith here. He may be the next P. Diddy. This might be. So here's one here. We have a mystery murder going down in Ohio, Columbus. Anyone out there can hear my voice? I mean, you've got a murderer running around. We got a dentist and his wife gunned down in their home this week. Police have not identified any suspect. They say that Dr. Spencer, that's where I got that from. Spencer Tepe, 37, and his wife Monique Tepe, 39, were found shot to death in their home Tuesday morning after police conducted a wellness check. The two children were found in the home crying, but were not physically harmed. Police were called to conduct a welfare check after the doctor did not show up for work, and he's known for being punctual. Never shows up late, never, none of that. So after, no call, no shows, people started to geek out. And again, they went for the wellness check and they found these two shot to death. Him shot multiple times. His wife shot once in the chest. So I don't know if she died instantly. She could have potentially sat there and suffered and bled out. horrific here. But double murder. We got somebody on the run out there in Columbus. Or they could be in China by now, but just saying, a lot of times the suspects are kind of local, or there's something. Hopefully this gets solved. Rips. Here's the FBI saying they foiled another plot. We know that they're notorious for foiling plots that they've started in the past. If you missed it, Judge Napolitano was on Fox News about a decade or so ago before they kicked him off. And he said the same thing. He had a whole segment on Fox News on how the FBI created dozens of events only to take credit for them and all this other stuff. It's like, oh, really? That's interesting. Well, just keep that in mind from here on out. Well, they stopped another one here. A terror attack that was going to happen. A jihadi plot against Christians. Imagine that. It's going to take place in North Carolina.
We have foiled a terrorist attack that was planned to take place on New Year's Eve in Mint Hill, North Carolina. The defendant here is an 18-year-old named Christian Sturdivant. He has been planning this attack for about a year, but he's been planning an attack for far longer than that. He was planning this attack in support of ISIS, and we have charged him with attempting to provide material support to a foreign terrorist organization. He started reading ISIS material, started going to ISIS websites, making TikTok videos, and eventually reached out to what he thought was a member of ISIS. In reality, it was an...
Of course he thought that, in reality, because all of them are agents. Of course, what he thought. He thought he was connected to... There's dudes dressed up and all this jihadi, doing jihadi crap. And guess what? They are agents. So thanks for telling us that, buddy. That's what's happening all the time. You freaking fools, man. I'm sick of it. We know the name of the game. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of the scandal. There's no oversight on the corruption in these alphabet gangs in this country, around the world. Mossad, CIA, FBI. You tell me the righteous oversight. You know there's none. They do as they will. These guys are straight mafia when it comes down to it. Anyhow, I'm glad an attack didn't go down. Okay. I thought this was kind of crazy. This is a police chief caught on camera lighting a fire. He apparently says he didn't mean to. This is a weird one right here.
Say a fire that burned down a Vienna care facility in August was accidental after video showed the city's police chief discarding a lit cigarette just before the blaze began. ABC 17 News obtained the fire report and security footage capturing the night the fire started. Thanks for joining us on ABC 17 News at 9 on Fox 22. I'm Olivia Hayes. Erica and Megan both have the night off. Our ABC 17's Mitchell Kaminsky joins us live in studio after reviewing that footage. And Mitch, the video shows Police Chief Shannon Thompson putting out a cigarette at the front entrance.
Yeah, Olivia, this is a look at the start of that fire about 90 minutes after Thompson had left the property. While the fire was reportedly ruled as accidental, the Marys County Prosecutor's Office tells me that they are still investigating the incident. On the morning of August 7th, firefighters arrived at the Vienna Point Residential Care Center to find the building engulfed in flames, with the blaze seen venting through the roof. According to this fire report we received from the state fire marshal, strong winds and limited water supply kept crews from stopping the fire from spreading. No injuries were reported, but the building was a total loss. Initial findings listed the cause as undetermined due to the extensive damage. However, the investigation was revised on November 5th after insurers provided security video from the night of the fire. That video footage obtained by ABC 17 News shows Vienna Police Chief Shannon Thompson arriving at the facility just before midnight on August 6th in response to an accidental 911 call. After smoking a cigarette and placing it in a planter near the front entrance, Thompson is then seen returning to the plant a few minutes later and appears to stomp inside the planter before leaving. About an hour and a half later, video shows a small glow developing in the planter, which transitions into open flames and spreads to the building's entrance. Thompson later told investigators that he had tried to put it out before leaving and said he didn't think it could start a fire, noting the cigarette he smoked is designed to self-extinguish. Investigators concluded the fire was accidental and started when a cigarette was placed near combustible material and smoldering embers weren't noticed. I reached out to Chief Thompson for comment, but have not yet heard back.
All right, Mitchell, thank you. You can watch the full surveillance.
All right, so I'd say, yeah, accidental. Accidents happen. Moral of the story is be careful. Man, I've dealt with fires big time. They're devastating. He obviously tried to put it out, thought he had it out, but he's a dummy for trying to put it out in a flower pot under dry conditions. I don't even mess around, man. Here's an example. We have a Swiss Inferno that went down at a nightclub on New Year's Eve, a death trap here. And they're thinking about going after the owners for manslaughter on this whole thing. Yeah. The couple that own it say they can't sleep following the tragedy. And the investigators saying that they're considering pursuing the manslaughter charges. They say that this blaze began spreading across the basement of La Constellation, a popular venue located at the center of the alpine town of Crans-Montana in the Valais Canton at around 1:30 a.m. Thursday morning. Flames quickly grew across the club, which was filled with people from all over the world, consuming it in a raging fire that killed dozens. This inferno killed at least 40 people and another 119 were injured, authorities confirmed today. Most of them in their teens and 20s with severe third-degree burns. And I got a couple stories here on this. Let me play this. This here. You can see the fire on the ceiling. Everyone's just filming it. And like they should have been trying to get out of the building. So they're in there like raving, like a party, jumping up and down. It's on fire. People are just like, oh, well, filming it. And like it just goes up out of control quick. And a lot of those people that were on that in that video are dead. You know, here's one they say is a miracle, though. I wanted to point this out. They say that a youth was trapped inside this blaze, sat down with the crucifix in his hands, and the fire just avoided him. And he survived. They're calling it an inferno miracle. I guess she's
parce que j'avais juste trop besoin d'aller aux toilettes. Et on est descendu. J'ai vu un ami à moi. Et genre on a vu le feu et on est directement remonté. Et genre
because she explains the whole situation, but it's in French, obviously there or something pretty crazy, pretty amazing. So they're telling the story of it. I guess it was just something that they witnessed. There is no videos or pictures of it. I'm sure if there was like video or picture of the event, it would like be viral. I mean, you've got an inferno and like sitting in the middle of it is just a dude holding a cross and the fire doesn't touch him. I mean, that's what they're saying. That would be pretty crazy to see. Moving on here. We have New Hampshire's governor announcing that sanctuary cities are officially banned. Yeah, after an anti-sanctuary city law took effect on January 1st. So, you know, every state's different, and this is big. How your state implements things and operates is huge. It governs kind of how just cities are gonna, go down. The state makes big time decisions like this. It says a lot. I could think of like if Ohio did this, that would mean that like Cleveland cannot be a sanctuary city. It means that Cincinnati cannot be a sanctuary city. You see, just making a move on the state level, just that quick, it stops all this crap. Even if it's got Dems that are elected and in control there, you can in the cities, you can still stop the sanctuary city crap from happening. Because all the sanctuary city was just part of the big ploy. They flooded all these migrants in there. And they're like, well, where do we go? All the migrants are looking at a government like, well, where are we going to go? And they're like, well, don't worry about that. We got plenty of cities that are going to take you in. Well, what do you mean? Well, they have a whole program designed that they sat down and they figured out. We're going to send you to all these different cities. And they're like, are you sure? And they go like, oh, yeah, the cities are down for it. They signed up for it. They're called sanctuary cities. You can just go there and everything will be taken care of. And after the first group goes there, they call back to the people on the other side. They're like, yo, we made it. Everything's smooth over here. More and more come. Like the Somalis, more and more come. More and more come. Oh, they got a couple good scams set up for us over here. We're making millions. We're making billions. That's not an exaggeration either. That is what has happened. Expect every single sanctuary city that's out there to come under the target of the Trump administration, especially. Right? And for good reason for a lot of this. A lot of this has to be stopped. Okay? Yeah, they're tyrants. Yeah, it's a left-right paradigm and all this. But like, yeah, some of this stuff has to be done. The sanctuary city stuff, it was all part of a ploy that, again, was done by the left and by the Biden administration, which is the left. It was all done by the establishment. Don't forget. So, you got Trump in there. They're going to put all these people in jail, but they just can't seem to ever get their hands on not a single person in the deep state, can they? And they suck if you ask me. 500 illegal immigrants arrested in Minnesota. 1,000 fraud cases opened up. This is huge. Tip of the iceberg when it comes to this whole fraud thing. And this is big. It's a big story. It's huge. Our taxpayer money. Now, I'm going to say this. And pay attention to this. I have seen, and trust me, I have an eye for these things. I have seen this week shells come out the woodwork pushing an idea that just because they are all pushing it together makes it dangerous. Alone. A trap. And that's for everyone to stop paying their taxes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen many of them pushing this. MGT was pushing it. What's her name? Savannah Hernandez. The Hodge twins. All of them. They were just jumping like they all walked out of a meeting and they were told they should tweet about this. That's what it felt like. Yeah. Looks like a duck, walks like a duck. Yeah. I've been doing this long enough. When I see the timeline get filled with shilling the same thing, it's tantamount to them goons walking out of MAGA, Cernovich, and all the goons walked out with the files, like the Epstein files. They were holding them up in the air, like, look, we got the Epstein file. They're all shells. All those people were shells, Mossad controlled, right? Man, this always comes back to corrupt alphabet gangs that are responsible for all this. They orchestrate all this. They oversee all this. They thrive off of chaos because they act like they're the ones there to control it, like to calm everything down. And they're just orchestrating it all. So the SBA suspends 7,000 Minnesota borrowers over the suspected fraudulent activity. So this is going to go far and wide. This is going to affect a lot of people. Whatever you're seeing happening right here in Minnesota is going to start happening in whatever city they mention next. They've already said Ohio. They sent it into Ohio and other places. Just wait. Columbus was mentioned. Just wait. This is going to spread like wildfire into all these places. Already is. So these Somalis are pretty brazen. Apparently, they're going on TikTok and they're making threats like this woman. She threatens Elon Musk and she's like, well, you don't have to worry about him. He's going to be dead soon. It's like, what? And like, the death threats are just flying all over the place. They're making it common. And it's part of this assassination culture, so to speak, where like Charlie Kirk, this whole thing, they're trying to normalize it being okay to, kill people, just murder them. You don't like them, just murder them. Not debate. Not it's okay to it's okay to disagree on some things. No, just kill. Like, really, no. Yeah.
When people say like this is fake, I'm like, actually, well, let's look at.
كان محو هايستا العق بس هايستا بدو فول حمية اسكو فول حمية كان وادق ودم الربع I wouldn't worry too much about this one that الباب يسجو I wouldn't worry too much about him he bad it.
See how quick she went from speaking Somali to English? Like, boom. And just, he about to die. Like, what? Like, well, yeah, I'm sure she's already got her visit. If not, they're coming. But this is the crazy thing. Look what Elon says. He says that it is war. He doesn't say, oh, well, knock, knock, who is it? Like the feds, make it, any kind of statement like the feds are coming for your agent. He says that it's war. He said it's war. You're going to war with this one woman? It feels more like you're going to war. You're making a call like war against all these people. I mean, he threatened his life. So he's not going to be happy about it. I feel this is all this heavy manipulation and this is all part of the ploy. This is all being rolled out and you know about it only because they want it to be. Okay, so there's something more going on here. I feel like this could feed into chaos, civil war, right here, within these cities, within the sanctuary cities, within all of it, everything that they've been setting up here. Take it to a whole nother level. This fraud, where do they go when they start trying to arrest people, actually? I mean, it's got to happen at some point. Walls got to get arrested. Somebody breaking the law has got to go to jail. Everyone's screaming it. Somebody has to. For that, they're not going to turn themselves in. Someone's going to have to go in and forcibly arrest them. And when that happens, it's going to probably be lightweight chaotic, especially if they have security forces trying to defend them, like local police or anything else. That's when you're going to have feds versus their security or local police. And that's the beginning of like a civil war. Been waiting to see what city, what town it's going to pop off in. It's going to be Colorado. It's going to be over here. It's going to be Cali. Wherever it's going to be. Well, it may just be right here in Minnesota. Because this thing, there's too much. You're not talking just millions. You're talking freaking billions of dollars. No way that this was going unnoticed. No way the banks weren't seeing this. No way that the feds weren't seeing this. They track every transaction over $10,000. Are you kidding me? Like, all of this was let happen. You understand that, right? By people in higher positions. And they should all be exposed. They should all go to jail. It's that simple. Look here. A TSA whistleblower exposes Somali cash smuggling operation at U.S. airports. Right here. What? Like, listen to this.
Suitcases filled with millions of dollars of cash. And the couriers were always Somali men traveling in pairs. And they got through the checkpoint. And it just really absolutely blew my mind the first time you open a suitcase and you see millions of dollars of cash. And typically what would happen is a Leo or a law enforcement officer would come, check their credentials. I don't know what kind of questions they asked them, but their IDs were always documented, and probably their plane tickets as well. So there is a trail of that out there.
Yes, there's a trail.
And I would believe with all the cameras at the airport that if they started there, they could probably find each and every individual that brought money through the checkpoint.
Obviously, this seems suspicious, if not alarming, given what seems to be a pattern here. So you're talking about millions of dollars flying out of Minneapolis, and you think it happened about every week or so? Is that right?
So it certainly seemed like it happened every week. The suitcases came in, and it was always, the MO was always two Somalian men traveling in pairs. Sometimes they both had suitcases. And so the process was, as a TSA agent, we would pull the bag, and then we'd bring them to a private screening room. And we would open the suitcase and make sure that that's all it was stacks of cash. And a Leo would come and maybe question them and for sure take a picture of their identification, and I'm assuming their plane ticket. I'm not sure. So there is a trail out there between that. I mean, it has to be documented somewhere, and all the cameras in the airport, I would imagine if they'd like to find all this cash, they should start at the airport. Because in the 5 years I was there, I believe $1 billion went through the airport.
$1 billion. As if this isn't troubling enough, Liz, it's not just money you watched leave MSP. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. There was another instance, again, a Somali man that had a carry-on luggage filled with brand new passports. And he was allowed to get through the checkpoint. So where he went with those passports is anybody's guess.
This is really incredible to hear. So it sounds like you're raising alarms with your colleagues, but you have to wonder how many people knew about this. Where were they all back then?
Yeah, that's the thing. And she's not going to be able to answer that because she can't. She can't say where any of, like, how did this go by? How did they not know this? All this was tracked? Of course it was tracked. She just told you it was tracked. They were all pulled into a separate room. All their IDs were taken pictures of. Like, get out of here. They have all the information. The feds do. But the feds never did nothing about it. You know what that means, right? Come on, you know what that means, right? Feds have all the information. Know they're rolling through with millions. Nothing ever happens. They're allowing them to do it. They know 100% of it. Now, let me tell you something. Man. Where I come from, and just thinking on this, the information that they just gave out is that all the time a pair of two Somali men show up with a single suitcase and make their way on through. You know what that means, don't you? There's some boss sitting out there that just caught wind of something like this, and they're going to have their watchers, their young youth, they go to the airport and scout it out. You can have them hawking for two Somali dudes carrying a single suitcase. And they're going to get them. They're going to get them. If this doesn't stop or has not stopped dead in its tracks, somebody has now taken this information, a boss, knowing that there's routinely millions being taken to airports, to certain locations, and there's a pattern. Oh, boss is going to be on that. There's dudes out there that they kill for less. Let's just put it that way. That will kill for way less, for thousands, let alone millions. And they catch wind of something that they just made public. A boss criminal is going to have units. They'd be plotting right now. I'm telling you, like, this. Come on, man. I'm telling you, man. Like, there's people at the round table right now. Like, is this still happening? You know, like, it just goes to show you the level of corruption. The feds were allowing this to happen the whole time, because I think of it as an investigator. I always look at everything like an investigator. And to be the investigator, you got to play devil's advocate a lot, right? You got to put yourself in the shoes of the criminal. You think like the criminal, try to think this thing out and see which way they're going with it. Who benefits from this and why? And then when you find the people that benefit from it, oftentimes you find the guilty party. So this a crazy one. I just wanted to throw out there that when it comes to all this goes deep. You understand? This is many different big cities. This goes way beyond just a handful of daycares. Hundreds, if not thousands at this point, of shell businesses, fake fronts that were not only fake daycares, but fake and fraudulent businesses, grocery stores, and everything else that were processing millions in terms of this scam. In all kinds of cities, man. So I remember somebody pulled up a image and shared it, saying that in the immediate downtown area of Boston, there's 4,000 registered daycares. And I'm like, dude, you're kidding me. Like, dude, it's places like that they're gonna tear apart. And a quarter of that map was water from the bay. Like, so man, this is huge. Billions is where we're at with this. Billions. It goes deep. They were letting them roll through the freaking airports. This is deep. This means alphabet gangs were overseeing this and letting it slide. They knew of all of this, because if they would have pulled the plug on it, it would have came down a long time ago. But no, they didn't. That means these guys have continually let this happen day after day after day after day. It's crazy. Again, man, There's some balls sitting somewhere, man. Tonight, like, his wheels are turning. So we got the Washington State Attorney General warning citizen journalists, you better stop investigating all these Somali daycares. Trying to threaten them. Threaten the people. Flat out. He's saying you better stop investigating it or you're going to face potential hate crimes. Now look, you shouldn't go breaking the law or doing anything like that, put yourself in any jeopardy, especially in a position where they get you for something. But look, it doesn't hurt. Play your cards right. If this is supposed to be legitimate and there's daycares, then guess what? Grab a young child by the hand. They can play the part and go walking onto the grounds. If they want to start coming out in this climate and start geeking out, like, who are you? Where you from? This and that. It's like, whoa. What do you mean? Like, it's a daycare, right? And they're gonna be like, yeah, but what are you doing here? You come back. I come here with my child for the daycare, and they're like, no, it's private property. You gotta leave. You're like, well, it says daycare. Like I thought it was. Then they make it obvious. That's what they've done. Like they've acted like that on camera already. It's like you're guilty. Then like, how are you gonna have a sign up saying that you're a daycare, but when people come here to try to utilize your service, you act guilty as crap. So this is going on all over the place. And as more and more people get out and wake up and open their eyes and see what's going on and pull their phones out of their pockets, start filming, the more the government's getting pissy. It's like people are waking up all of a sudden en masse. And they're like, oh, well, I got one around me. I want to go check it out. Well, more power to them. And they start filming it. It's a lightweight awakening that's happening. And they don't like it. It's so much so that they're threatening people here. Again, don't go with confrontation. Be smart about it, like I just said. If you go somewhere with just a camera out, you're asking all these questions, and they're going to be super hostile towards you, and you're probably not going to get anywhere. You need to go in, setting it up where you're as innocent as possible. And again, seeking their service. That way you can play into the whole thing. And they don't have this built-up hate to explode on you right out the gate because you're a dude asking questions with a camera in their face and all this. So there's a way to handle everything, right? Like, that's what I've learned throughout the years. For real, running the streets, every situation is different. And you've got to learn how to play the cards, man. But this is nuts. The scamming on a whole different level. So who is helping this? Who's helping these low IQ migrants defraud the American taxpayer for freaking billions of dollars? And again, this is where the shills are out there saying, stop paying your taxes. And the more and more you hear about this, I'm warning you, it's a trap. I'm warning you. Yeah, of course. Yeah, everything sounds great. Peach, you remember Trump came out here recently and said they were going to do away with income taxes. Okay? So like, but do not fall into a freaking trap. Okay? Do not follow these people into a trap. Do not do it, dude. I'm warning you. I know them when I see them, when I feel them. I seen this one unfold, all the shills at the same time, and like they walked out of a meeting and all hopped on X to tweet the same thing. I see these things, man. Not to mention half these fools are millionaires. They're getting paid. They're getting paid by the man. Why do you think they're millionaires? They've been busted getting paid millions. Not only from the man, but from the Mossad. From another country. That right there is treason and should be illegal. The Mossad's paying influencers openly millions of dollars here in this country to and then they all got busted. To act like, oh, that ain't me. That garbage. You're all busted in like, I ain't even going to get to naming off all the names right here because I just had to bring down the stream. So I think you'd be smart enough to do that research and already know who those people are. It's floating around out there openly. But some of those names got it out hard for me. And if I so much as to even mention them, they would try to attack and all this other crap. And they've already done it. So I don't know. Yeah, something tells me the Somalis are not the mastermind behind this op as well, bro. Spiro, I think you're right. Yeah, who's helping do this? Well, Tim Walz is going to go down without a doubt at this point. He has to. He is at front and center of this. Like, he has to. He has to get confronted. He needs to be called to the principal's office by Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, come in here. Like, and if he doesn't want to show up, he needs to be, like, fired or something. Like, the people need to get a grip on this because that's who control the situation. That's who this man works for. And it's like they forget it. But if all your people are brainwashed in the city, that's where they get away with this crap, man. Like you see in New York, the zombies up there around Mom Donnie today. Like, like, it's like you guys, you don't even understand what you're begging for. They're begging for destruction. So here's another story. I'm going to go through a couple connections here that's going to kind of blow your mind here, right? As you just said, Spiro, who's running this? Who's doing all this? I'm about to show you. We'll show you what this tracks back to, at least from what we can see thus far. Well, ethics questions swirl around the UN ambassador tied to Ohio Healthcare Company. So here is another can of worms. They open this up. Oh boy, I told you Ohio didn't. Ohio's next on the list. So Minnesota, Ohio, these two are on the chopping block when this whole thing goes down. I'm not going to dive all the way down this one. I'm just throwing it out there. You can look more into it because it goes deeper. What do we have? Where does this lead back to? Well, that guy looks familiar. That looks like Barack Lightning Hussein Obama. That said hail to the Pharaoh Zeus in reverse during his inauguration speech. His first one, I believe. Obama. So if you already know that this whole thing tracks back to a machine engineered all by the Obamas, why ain't he in jail? I say this all the time. Why? It's a repeated thing. Clintons don't go to jail. Obamas can't go to jail. No, none of them go to jail. The untouchables. The establishment untouchables is what they are. That's how you know. It's all game. It's rigged. It is a left-right paradigm. Trump ain't going after none of them. Like Hillary should have been in prison yesterday. Last administration. She could have done served a term and then been out. Like a little prison bid and been out. Straight up. I mean, look at Diddy. I mean, they weren't going to hit her any harder than Diddy. I think Diddy's about going to be out before Trump's out of there. And probably catch a pardon. Ridiculous. So this goes back to Obama. And it's like, man, like, should I waste my breath? It's, again, untouchables. Go arrest them. Then, if you know it goes back here, go arrest George freaking Soros, man. Huh? Well, here it is. What's this? Activist link George Soros. He has training activist jurors so they can marginalize defendants. This is nuts. You got billionaires doing ultimate tactics here. They are taking jurors and they are manipulating them. This is great. Training them. Like, this is crazy. This is treason. And we're talking about it so your government knows about it. Trump, they all know about it. Again, they don't get arrested. Thank you so much, Steve, for gifting the memberships. Everyone that got them, welcome to the underground. And Happy New Year. Much love. But again, I mean, I say these things all the time. It's a common theme. George Soros and his son and all the minions around him, they should be arrested for treason. It needs to be stopped, like yesterday. And he could die. His son's going to keep on pushing the agenda. At this point, he's a well-trained puppet. And he's in the club. He knows fully what to do here every step of the way. So the reins are already passed. George Soros has already announced stepping down and most of all that power going to his son. So they're just... It pisses me off, man. They're criminals. They're like, they're mafia bosses, criminal bosses, crime bosses sitting there in their mansions tonight. Here we are talking about them. Why ain't they arrested? Isn't that why half of MACA voted Trump in there under the illusion that half this crap was going to happen? All these people are going to get arrested? Nobody's ever getting arrested. But you got these clowns over here ready to follow the next clue behind Q down the next rabbit hole. Like, oh, look at this. Like, get out of here, man. Waste all your time. Lost in what they want you to be lost in. Meantime, we're just stepping to the side over here and seeing clearly that this is all orchestration. Here's a piece. I don't particularly like this guy. I like Jesse Waters, but
add up to? Why are they engaged in all this? What is their objective here? It's the Somalification of America. In other words, when you see the state of Somalia, that's what they want for America at the end of the day, because it's easier to rule over an empire of ashes than it is for the Democratic Party to rule over a functioning, Western, high-trust society with a strong middle class. Look how powerful the Democrat Party became in Minnesota once they flooded it with 100,000 Somalians. Once the elections were decided, right, by clan rivalries and ethnic feuds. Once that happened, the Democrat Party became permanently powerful in Minnesota. They became permanently powerful in the Twin Cities. That's their model for America, to make the whole country into a version of Somalia. And everything they do gets down to that. So when you ask me what I'm thankful for, this Thanksgiving, I praise God every day that Donald Trump is our president. And we've gone from...
So, I'll say he's got points in the people that say this about all this happening here. They got a point. Like, this is a Christian-based nation, okay? And you're not dealing with just, this isn't any old thing happening. This isn't normal. Let's just put it that way. This isn't a normal, natural process. There's certain individuals being brought in here, obviously, as enemies of this country, and to bring it down. Just as he said, bringing them in they're easier to govern than a strong middle class. So they brought down, they're weakening the middle class, breaking it down, breaking down the economy. At the same time, they're flooding in these migrants. You can see what they're doing very clearly. And you can already see what they've done over in the UK, what they've done in Ireland. The government then jumps behind the migrants at a point, and the minority, in case of the UK, the British man, white man there, even Ireland, the white man there, you become chastised. You become the enemy. You can't dare say nothing. You can't dare call it out. You can't say nothing, or they're coming at you, kicking down your door for freedom of speech. And I ain't lying. It's happening. Hello, America. It's what's coming to you. All Americans, you'll be subjugated to the same treatment. That's the plan. You're seeing it. You're seeing where the end game is in these smaller countries because they're smaller, and they're overwhelmed. It didn't happen. They're smaller, so we see where they're taking it. You can't. You can see it's happening here. You can see they set up shop in Dearborn. They've given rise to it, as he just said, in Minnesota. Also, he said the Twin Cities. Let me remind you, Mamdani just taking over New York. Just a setup. Everyone's going to say, oh, everyone always says a bunch of crap. Even go down Texas, we're supposed to be a big old patriot country. And what do you got? You got Sharia law setting up shop all over the place. So you just keep sleeping. They're letting them creep in. That's right. It's the ploy. It's obvious. You better defend your base. You better defend your freedom, your religion. You better be in a town and a city that doesn't let this happen. There's enough people that'll make a stand that doesn't let this happen. Because once they start rolling in, they ain't gonna stop. You'd be surprised what a little action is. Some boys get up off the porch and go out and put a stop to the first load that comes to the neighborhood. Send them turning around packing the other way. Guess what? You just saved everything. Time for someone to be heroes. To be legendary. To save the country. It comes down to us. Ain't no one. A team ain't coming to the rescue. Ain't no one coming to the rescue. Anyone's coming, period, it's going to be trouble. So, I mean, where we're at this day and age is you don't only have to worry about migrants rolling up in, Ford Raptors and bailing out with, weapons on your ass. We're at a time where a Cybertruck could roll up with Optimus, weaponized guns, and that would be even more deadly, more lethal. You'd have a harder time trying to defeat that than you would the Somalis with weapons. Wow, we're in for some craziness, man. I sit here and I wonder, oh wow, like when are they going to start unleashing these robots weaponized on the masses, like on the war front, like big time, slaughtering people left and right, and they're just going to show it to you from drone footage, like in HD, just like I watch every day. Unfortunately, young men getting blown up by drones every day in Ukraine and all around the world, really. It's sick. It's become a new thing. Using the drones, the small drones, not the big predator drones, but the small drones like DJI, they're weaponized to a degree. It's sick. They'll track and trace a dude down anywhere, and they'll blow them apart. They blow them apart everywhere. Militarily, it's very tactical. Okay, and it works. Okay, we're trying to take out the enemy. Problem is we've already seen a lot of these guys don't want to be there. That's murder to me. These are not guys that went and signed up and said, hoorah, blah, blah, blah. No, these are dudes that were kidnapped off the street many times and sent to the front lines to die. And that's who you're seeing get killed. And that's what breaks my heart. It's murder. You were watching when it comes to Ukraine. I mean, it is like, I always say, like, the old movie called Surviving the Game. Then you got the movie Hunger Games and all this. I mean, that's what this is like in real life. This is sinister, sick. It's demonic. It's happening right now every day, and no one wants to talk about it. People are literally getting kidnapped. Could you imagine about getting picked up off the street by your government to get sent to the killing field? Dude. And Zelensky wants to say that U.S. troops, that Trump's talking about U.S. troops in there, my ass. Like, Americans stand for that. Anybody stands for troops in there or anything whatsoever at this point. They're just, they're asking for it. We got problems here on the home front, though. And if you don't know, let me make clear something here with this whole Somali thing before we get out of it. There is an area in Somalia that they have renamed Somaliland. Okay? Now listen. This isn't going to go away. You are going to hear about the Somaliland forever from here. They have just like carved out an area here. It makes one wonder that they give the government or Israel and the U.S. a chunk of Somalia in exchange for letting them come here this whole time and make billions? How is it it's them that's doing it? How is it it's them that gave you the land? Huh? 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 Somebody's like busted and wide open. No way Somalis are in here getting away with making billions in this country. And they just so happen to give the West a huge chunk of land, like a brand new Israel? Are you kidding me? And guess what it's for? They're going to accept the Palestinians. This is their relocation of Palestine right in front of your face. To resettle all of them in this area. And Somalia has agreed to it. They were like, oh, let's go over here. These Somalis, they'll fall for it. They'll go for it. They ain't got nothing. We'll just offer them this. And we'll let them come over and be a part of the scam where they can make billions and daycares all across the country and get away with it for years and years and years. They did. Dude, we just blew it wide open. It was obvious. It's obvious it was for this huge chunk of land. Why else would they have given it to you? Why else would you have let them in here to do all? Why else would it all be this way? They're busted. Flat out, it's over. Somaliland has been bought and purchased through scam in the West by your government. Alphabetings, they allowed this, no doubt. This is why it all happened. Can't you see? This is why it all happened right here. Because this is what they got in return. They got a place to send the Palestinians while they gut Gaza and turn it into the paradise that Mr. 666 Donald Jared Kushner and company want to turn it into. A resort paradise, Gaza. They want to make it like the new Dubai, but in Israel. Now do you see? Now do you see? Let it burn. What a time, huh? Wow. This is pretty brazen. Again, we don't even have protesters in this country, so no one's going to protest Trump. No one's going to protest nothing. They're going to get away with it. Get away with all of it. They get away with everything. They get away with everything. It is so evil. You got that right, tacos. Much love, Steve. My brothers. You couldn't pay me to go to Somalia neither, brother. But, there's this is such a setup and a stage. So many lies and agendas. So this is key. From here on out, we know they've got Somaliland where they're sending all these refugees. This is huge. They've been trying to do this for some time. Find some people, I guess, that would take the bait and do just that. And let me also say that it is very strategic where this is going down at, because this gives them a huge piece of land right there at the mouth of like the Dead Sea. Very disputed area right there across from Yemen and everything else. Yeah. Very hot spot right there. It's strategic as it gets. So it's not like they just took any one little spot out of Somalia. They took a strategic spot, and I'm telling you, they worked out a deal. So here we go. Here you have it. This is the game. Is it? Oh. You jumped the gun on that a little bit, but thanks for giving me a heads up, because I see it again. Unless you guys' clocks are turning over before mine, all older bones, man, trying to stay ahead of the pack. 11-11. Right there. Kev Barr came through right on the money. Right on the money. sunny. There you go, 1111. Much love. Oh, let me say this. I gotta say this because, well, I love you. I love all of you who can hear me. Not only in the flesh, but like I know something spiritual's listening. 1111 is significant because it's the sign from the other side that everything's gonna be all right, right? It's the sign. 1111. It always has been. We know it, but it goes deeper than that. With the 111s, 222s, 333s, 444s. I get a lot of 144s. The other side speaks to you this way. I've learned it. It's a fact, Jack. It's a fact. I don't know what the name is for it. I think it's a fact. Okay. It's very prevalent, very solid in my life. It guides me. It's the only way. I mean, if there's rules to the games where like they can't speak to you, but in a certain way, well, this is the way. This is the glitch in the matrix. This is the you're on the right path, bro. Keep it up. Right? And the end of the last stream, I dropped some jewels. And it was if you felt it, you felt it. You know what I mean. It was like heavy. And like when I ended the stream, I shut everything down. I know we went past midnight, but not much farther. But I immediately had to go through wood and fire and handle some things. I'm thinking about, everything. My wheels are always going. I'm thinking I'm just in the moment, living in the moment, doing what I have to do. I come up here and I sit down and like, this heavy presence hits me of God and like all this and like the whole mission. And I'm like, hey, listen, I can feel you. I can feel you. I can feel you. I'm like, what am I to do? And like, it was just after the show. It was like all this. I'm like, I just reach over like right now. And I pick up and I look at my phone. Just that's how it is with me. It's always look at the phone. It's always pick up the phone. That's the routine that I have. And I did it. And like, it spoke to me. It screamed at me that we're right here with you. Right as I picked up that phone. And when I did, it was 111. I collapsed into the floor because they immediately right there, they let me know hard that we're here. You're right. We're here. You're right. Watching. And keep it up. Stay on the positive. Is what I took from it. And like it like it's hard. It's hard. That's how my life works. Right? If you're around here all the time by now, then you see it's repeated all the time. I say it, and these things happen. I tell you because I have to tell you. There's no way I can just like not say these things and like keep it a secret. So that was very prevalent. It was huge at the end of the last stream, and then all that. It was like the Most High give me the confirmation. I'm saying that positive affirmation. You need it, man. That's what I was saying earlier. Quit cursing yourself. Correct it. So much love, everybody out there. I'll wrap up the the stuff I was just talking about here, just saying that Mom Donnie has been sworn in NYC when warning about all the socialist uprise and all this other stuff. There's clips he's talking to all the zombies out there, and he's trying to say this administration. He's trying to talk like he's president or something. But I don't know. I don't trust none of it. Unfortunately, I give everybody like the benefit of the doubt, but in this evil ass world, being nice and kind is just, evil sees it as a weakness. And I had bad experiences going to NYC already, New York. The way I see NYC is I'm better off not even crossing over into it. I would rather stay over on like the Jersey side, or at least like I'll stay at a distance where I can see the beautiful lights of the city. Is how I do it from here. Like the heck with going in to NYC. I experienced more racism inside of NYC from my own white kind than anywhere on this freaking planet. I've been out of some places, man. I've been in some situations. I've been in some places. I've seen some things. Let me tell you. NYC, lo and behold, served up the most racism I ever seen. I couldn't believe it. It was just like, F you too. I won't be back. Not to say there's not good people there, because I know there is, but if anyone wants to be honest and real with themselves, then they'll say the same thing. It was bad. It was really bad. But it's what it is. We've got an issue in Iran. Try to wrap this up here in the next 10 minutes or so by 11:30. We got a war thing kind of brewing in Iran. And let's just get to the bottom of this. And let's just be straight up with what's going on here. I have a clip earlier. It's a tweet. It's a tweet that Pompeo kicked out. And he made reference that he basically said, opened his mouth and said that, like, we're behind the color revolution on the ground in Iran. Like, we're behind kicking up the chaos in Iran, which is not a surprise. I knew it. I knew it. So immediately Trump jumps up and says, if they kill any protesters, we got their back. We're locked and loaded and we're ready to go. It's like, oh yeah, well, they just killed 6. What does this mean? I don't know. But like Thomas Massey says, again, we have enough problems at home. We don't need to do it. He's not afraid to stand up to Trump because he's already shown that. And Trump wants to keep doing all these Trump things. We don't need a war. But what people don't understand about this, especially the MAGA that voted for him, is that he doesn't care this time. There's not a second or a next. He doesn't need your vote again. He's in there. He's got power. Like the horns come out. And like, yeah, there's war. What's crazy about it is he's out here trying to play Mr. Peace while playing war at the same time. And it's like, you can't. He's trying to have his cake. You need it too. Oh, they love it. They just love it. They just love it. They love it. Like, I'm sick of it. Sick of it. Sick of it. I'm sick of all of it. It's not just with him. It's with anyone. With any other puppet they're going to put in there to be Vance next, or Newsom next, or whoever it is next. I'm sick of the establishment. Sick of it. We're hip to it. We know what it is. Until some real big boys out there that took an oath, or gals, that got the heart to arrest the real treason in this country. This will stay like this forever until we're dead and gone. In your seats, they have to deal with it because nobody had the courage to step up to it. There's a lot of men and women out there that took the oath against threats, foreign and domestic. And we've got a lot of problems here at home, domestic, and you don't never see nobody living up to the oath. As far as I could see, a bunch of them cower and go over and would rather take pictures with Trump in the administration, a bunch of treason, pedo protectors, and share all the images on Twitter and X and act like they're cool, than ever make a stand against it. Because they know making a stand against it, they have to put their life on the line and everything else. So they're taking the easy way out. And that's why we're screwed. So, would you let your young, sons and daughters go to war right now for the beast with everything you know? Are you kidding me? That's like pathetic. That's why I'm talking to some people. There's some people that used to be really close right around me, right on the stream, that let their own seeds go join this beast in the military. After everything we know, after everything we figured out, they let them go and just join the beast and get indoctrinated and get jabbed and get everything else and just get screwed. And they must not love their seed, is all I could tell. So those people are cut out of my life. It's ridiculous to know how evil this game is, to know it, and to just let your seed go into it. To what? Get signed up to go murder innocent people, which you know this government does already, which you reported on over and over and over again. You're just going to throw it on the back burner, act like it didn't freaking happen. Just get them out of the house, whatever. Dude, it's pathetic. Is what it is. It's the lowest of scum. Selling your seeds out. Get them out the house, get them out your hair, whatever. Shows you really don't care about them, dude. At all. It's pathetic. Especially when you have this knowledge. Should have been training them on the knowledge all the time. You should have been indoctrinating them with the truth on who the real enemy is. But you had the balls to do that, bitch. That's what you are. You take that with you wherever you want. Bitches make more bitches. That's sad. We need real men around here. Real people take an oath, defend this place. Then we get somewhere. Right? Nah. All I've seen, I'm just being honest with you. I've seen a lot of disappointment through all these years. All these people, fake patriots, all this crap, they've just been at to use the movement. Try to get famous, get rich, this and that, and when they can't do it or this and that, and all of them take the easy way out. The government wants to threaten them or this and that, or whatever, like they easily buckle. It's no true patriots. Like guys I thought I had around me that were patriots are not. Again, they're over rubbing elbows with pedo protectors. That's why they're not here with me tonight or anywhere around me, and you won't see them at my conferences. You won't see them anywhere around. We don't roll like that. We roll with busters. That's why we're in this position. If the people that actually took the oath to serve and protect this place lived up to it, they don't want to hear that. It ruins the party. Then they got to potentially die or go to jail, Why'd you take the oath? Had no problem with it when it was to go kill innocent people somewhere. I don't get it. Hurrah, gung-ho, kill whoever they say, right? Had no problem then. But now you figured out who the bad guys are. And see, the problem is they know where the corruption's at. But they're bitching out. See, deep in their heart, they know they're bitching out. I don't care how big and bad they think they are. They know. They know it. It's sad. At least they know it deep inside. In the end, we all got to answer to the Most High. And at least if I die tomorrow, whenever, I can say I fought this fight against this beast to God all the way through and through true. Okay? Even if they come kill me. those type of people will have to go in front of the Most High, and I don't even know how they hold their head high, how it's not hanging low in front of the Most High. I'm serious about this, because you're going to have to go in front of the Most High knowing you pitched out. You didn't even live up to the oath that you took to protect this place or your people. And to be honest with you, there's souls on the other side, grandparents, uncles, great for that died in wars, that sees that you have an opportunity to like do something and sees that you basically succumb to the enemy. I'm talking about rolling in the grave. They can't do it. So I hear the cries. So I'll do it. I'll tell you. Some people are effing up and already have. Some people could save face just by being honest. Quit running with pedo protectors. You know, things like that. But I don't know. Disappointment, man. I'm really disappointed. People come to me all the time. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? You got any ideas? Like, I'm down for whatever. If you want to hold something, I'll come down to it. Like, I'll spread the word. But nobody ever does anything. Nobody ever comes to me with any ideas. Nobody ever tells me about anything. I said something about militias a long time ago. I only had one person come to me, God bless her, Susie Q, much love, come to me about one militia group. And all this time, all the country, everyone that listens. There's like nothing happening, nothing going on. As far as I can see, everyone's going to sit here docile throughout this whole Trump administration. Like, you better just prepare to protect yourself and your own family. There's definitely no cavalry coming to the rescue. I feel like a lot of people think like someone's going to come to save the day. I don't know why you ever thought that. I don't know why you were ever, what movie dropped the subliminal on you that ever made you think that, or what it was. Why you just assumed that like a hero was coming. Maybe because every movie set up that way or something. Every storyline's that way, that a hero is going to come save the day. Well, like, you're the hero is what nobody told you. Now what? You better get to work, dude. One way or another, you're going to see. You're going to awaken or not. I'm trying everything here. God, I'm trying everything. Can't you see? Like, okay, so look. France is burning. Germany's collapsing. Lithuania's about to go to war with Belarus and Russia. Add them into the mix. You know, all the same old crap. There ain't going to be no peace in Ukraine. Venezuela, the same old crap. Although I will add one big one here. This is pretty key. They have 5 Americans hostage, captive, whatever you want to call it. They've got them. They've got 5 Americans. So it begins. So a guy called, or named James Lucky Lang. He's 28 of Staten Island. He's among 5 U.S. citizens being held in Venezuela right now. And I'll be honest with you. It wasn't until right now, tonight, when I read this story, 5 captives, I had a vision of of the first Iraq war. If it was called Desert Storm, if you guys weren't around for that or whatnot, Desert Storm was and I've seen a lot of war footage. Come on, all these years, Desert Storm was the craziest war footage ever. Sat there right there in the living room on the TV, and it was like 4th of July nonstop. The sky lit up with tracer rounds like I've never seen since. We've seen wars. I report on wars all the time. Back and forth. We've seen Iran and Israel going back and forth. Ukraine and Russia all the time. But wasn't nothing like that. When we rolled in Desert Storm and started right in the beginning, it was the biggest freaking light show you ever seen in your life. And it just went on and on. And they announced that they had POWs. And they showed them. I'll never forget it, man. Never forget that. They showed them POWs on TV. I'll never forget. I was so young as a kid. Went to school and they had these Desert Storm stickers, and I had them for the longest time before I lost them. But it reminds me a lot of that. He even looks similar to Saddam in ways. Just features. It has a lot of. We got them surrounded, and that's exactly what we did before it started in Iraq. We surrounded the whole freaking area with warships. It was drawn out. We went into Kuwait, all that, and then it began. And when it began, son. Like, this is a little different. Every war front's different. We did just strike a facility on land, but like, yes, it's begun in that sense, but not like it's begun. When I say it's begun, when I drop a video it's begun, I'm saying like it's begun. Like engagement has begun. Warships are cracking off rounds. We're getting shot at. Our jets are getting shot at from, we're engaging with their military, and it's on. And like, just like in Iraq, where like there's tracer rounds back and forth, both sides, the sky's getting lit up. That hasn't happened. It's not happened yet. It may, if this dude does not back down, and I don't know if he's going to. I don't know if he's going to. The world's a stage, man. This is the biggest threat we've got on our home front. Is this localized war that Trump has kicked up. Your Gentile Messiah is kicked up. Specifically, they did this. They chalked this up. They've planned this whole thing up for this administration, or it could not be happening. So it's what it is. I said before, this is part of the Technate, the big scheme that Elon Musk's grandpa was dreaming up and was a part of, to control all of the northern hemisphere, basically, in the western hemisphere, from Venezuela all the way up through Mexico, into Canada, into Greenland, and control that whole block. That's what they want to do. That's also called the North American Union. The only thing that we would have never thrown in here before is Venezuela and Colombia. And I think that when it comes down to Panama, it's such a critical spot. You have to control it. Militarily, economically, all that. We were stupid to give up control. That when you're militarily, when you're down there, you can't just leave. You have to control Colombia, is what you come to realize. And if you have to control Colombia, how are you going to stop at the most oil-rich place on the freaking planet, like Venezuela? You're not. You're going to want it all. And you're going to want it for national security reasons, as they say, either for minerals or for national defense, strategic posturing, and all that. So they weren't joking. They're telegraphing all this to you. Okay, this is where they're taking this. This is almost just like, Israel trying to go after a greater Israel. That's what this is like. Trump just said it here recently. We're going after Greenland. And like, they keep saying it like it's a joke. Like, yeah, 51st state Canada. Like, boy, Canada is so just like, I don't know, man. The series of the right attacks and events, you'd be surprised. They don't have to give up their sovereignty, so to speak. They just have to make a big economic and military pact with Donald Trump and with the United States. with a North American Union, where they're all part of a union, very similar to the EU, but the EU is falling apart. I don't know, man. That's a lot of territory to take over. A lot of countries, but some of those countries are on board with Trump, like Honduras or whatever. I mean, Mexico is a huge wild card. You talk about real war, World War III, China, Russia, troops coming in. They would definitely flood them into Mexico. I mean, if it really went down like that, and then trying to storm the country. Man, if they really wanted, they'd push this, man, we're done. All the enemies are here. They spent years just flooding across the border. You kidding me? There's Chinese all over the place. Hell, they own property right up to the fence line of our bases. This is setup. This is setup. Don't you ever forget it. Just like 9/11. And China flexing big time on Taiwan. Massive, huge military exercise, the biggest to date ever. They're going to do this at some point. Here we are. It's 2026. They said by 2027, they will reunify. This has been known for years. Time keeps slipping away. Here they are. They've got them surrounded, literally. At one of these points, the drill's going to go live. Is what's going to happen. You watch. You watch. That's what will happen. And if the United States, it would serve China right if we were hit, if we were incapacitated. Yeah. Death by Sonar, thank you by the for the coffees there. Thank you so much for the support there. I want to share with you here this, and we always talk of Project Bluebeam and all this, but 2 million people cheered as drones formed the image of Christ the Redeemer, emerging from the sea during a record-breaking New Year's Eve celebration in Rio de Janeiro. So, of course, down there in Brazil, they've got Christ the Redeemer. They got the big statue of Christ with his arms open, which is a legit statue. To me, in terms, because it's not a graven image. I'm a stickler on that, because he specifically said not to worship a graven image for a reason, and I can see why. And that's with him dead on the cross. He specifically said not to do that, and yet people do it all the time, just kind of like unknowingly. But like, again, these are people that don't read the scripture. They may believe in Jesus and wear the cross, but if they read it and they listened to what he said, then they would listen to what he said. Is how I see it. And I don't cut no corners. I don't sugarcoat nothing. Like, it's what he said. So I just go flat out with it like that. There's no argument with it. You can say whatever. You can do whatever you want. You can have a nice piece with crucified Jesus on it. That's fine. I got one sitting here I'm looking at, but I don't wear it. It was given to me. I won't wear it because of that exact reason. Because what he says means something to me. Unlike all these fakes out there that act like it. Same ones that sin all week and then go to church and act like they're forgiven. Like, you're dead wrong. You're more than dead in the flesh wrong. You're so dead wrong. You ain't leaving this place. It's Hotel California. You can check out, but you will never leave. No, only one way out. That's in. It's following Christ. Chrism. Raising your vibration. Not sitting there sinning repeatedly and doing whatever you want and saying someone's going to come save me and forgive me for everything. Ain't how it works. You can lie to yourself and think that. And fool yourself and kid yourself and everyone around you. And think that you can get away with this constant sin and doing whatever you want. And you're just going to be forgiven about it. You can find out the hard way. You're leading people into a pit is what you're doing now there. You were asked, if you actually listen to what he said, you were asked to do all these things. But you don't want to talk about that, right? You don't want to talk about that, right? Because then you got to do something. So sick of the fakes. I ask the Most High continues to expose them and to run them out of my life. Ever since I started doing this, I'm glad. Glad the demons are no longer sitting around me acting like friends or neighbors or anything else. I'm glad I could see every one of them for what they are. And I'm glad I can feel it. I said also on last stream, my whole thing growing up, connection with Jesus, why I believe, the door in my bedroom, all this crazy stuff. I know that there's a Messiah. I know this. It's not even a debate. I understand how this whole thing works. I didn't always, not everybody does at all. This, what everybody's missing is how this place operates. There should honestly be a class on it. Real talk. Just it. I feel that I should give class on this. No news. Just this. Because this is all that really counts. When all the stories can melt away, how this place works, how you function, how you navigate through it is the most important thing of them all. Where you're going from here, what you are, all of it. There's nothing more important than that. If that's not the most important thing, then you're oblivious to it, and you're never gonna make it out of here. You just don't care. You're just waiting along, going along with the flow. You're not trying. You're not trying to do nothing. There's a way out, but you got to go for it. You got to go for it, and you have to speak it into existence. I can't stress it enough. That is the key from here, man, is really talking these things into existence. From here, I feel a big deception is going to happen. Obviously, we're due for it. It's coming. I think it's going to be in a couple different ways. This is how I see it. I feel that the one that's going to act like he's like God in the flesh, like that Jesus, like the Messiah, he's here. For them, like we would refer to as the anti. He is the Yanuka. He's here. We know this. We've shown this. They have already sacrificed the freaking bull. Like, they've done everything. Like, when it comes, like, this is probably going to be the year. Everything is ready for them to start building this temple, the third temple. And see, it's key for them in what they believe. Okay? They're going to have their Messiah, the Yanuka, sit in this temple. And it's going to all be done while Trump is president. They told us this. The rabbi said this. They gave Trump a silver crown, if you missed it, calling him the Prince of Peace, and called him the Gentile Messiah. That is an honor bestowed upon no human being by the Jews on this planet. To no one. The Jews have never give no one that title. No one. They give it to Donald Trump. Now do you see? Okay. Now do you see? I hope so. There's an affinity they have with Trump here in this whole connection, and that he has with them. They put him on a coin opposite of King Solomon. They've put a whole town under his name called Trump Heights. Like all this stuff. He's obviously their man, their puppet. like, and he's on film like, I'm not a Christian, but of course you're not. You worship the fallen, and you make it clear. Apollo, Zeus. Didn't that interest you? Artemis, the fallen, the giants. It's who he worships. It's who he's actually bloodline to. That's why. This goes all the way back to Charlemagne, his connection. It's deep. It's real. You see, Trump worships a lineage that he believes he's from that makes them elite over you. They call you the Goy. And really, this all started the last time we started. Our journey began at the end of the last event during the flood. That's where our journey began. This version of us, humans, if you will. Yeah. And the whole reason for the whole thing was because these things got out of control here. They're here. They're in the ocean. They're under the planet. They're here. That's the big thing here. We live a big lie. Yeah, but like, you can say that, you can hear these things, but you really have to be conscious of this. Not just hear me say it. Like, you have got to be consciously aware that there's another intelligent entity here. It's here. It's creepy as all get. There's multiple forms here. They're not all benevolent. They're here on the same rock, in the same realm as we are. They're here. And they've been hiding until now. This is time. This is disclosure. Just wait, like this movie drops, Stephen King. It's going to be like their big bang. It's going to be, I feel like the big drop. And then Trump's going to have to be the one to make the big statement. That's where it seems to be going. They've even asked him. It's very clear he's going to be the one to do it. Trump is going to be the one to make an announcement on life. I mean, he wants everything. He wants all the accolades. He wants to be the one for this and that. How could it not be? It will be. They've already said so. They've already said they're going to him for him to make the announcement. This was out of the age of disclosure. The guy's there. That's what they said. That's the next step. They didn't mention nothing about a Steven Spielberg or whatever movie. But that will be huge. That will. And I already seen the preview for it. They're going to creep everybody out. It shows this woman standing on stage going, doing all this weird. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's how the Greys verbally communicate. And they're telepathic anyway. But they're audible. And man, just this reminds me of Fire in the Sky. They're about to do this. They're about to do this. They're about to show you what they look like. They're about to do the whole nine. Like, they're doing it. They just showed us them shooting a UFO with the Hellfire missile. And the entire freaking world sat there like a bunch of fucking idiots. Like, oh. Like, you guys are so stupid and ignorant. And just, no wonder we're screwed. No wonder we're screwed. They just sat there and showed you them blowing up a freaking UFO modern day. And like, you're off to the next headline. Like, it's pathetic. You're pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. What do? You already know that most of these people are going to get consumed by fire, and most of them are not going to make it out. Only a remnant is. So, you know these things. I can't change that. It's not like I could work any harder and I could say we get millions to leave. It's not going to work. It's written. Only a remnant's leaving. So, a bunch of people about to get smoked. This place is going to get lit up like Sodom and Gomorrah at some point. And you just better be right with the Most High. I've tried to get you there. I've tried to get everybody to a point when this happens. Look, the whole reason the reset happened, the global reset happened last time, is because souls did not want to reincarnate back in here. Open your Bible. Again, some people don't read it. All these other things you need to catch up on too. Jubilees, Giants, Enoch, all of it. They are that is the rest of the puzzle. When you put it all together, you can see clearly what's happened here. This place is insane. If you knew our real history, insane. The life that is ran here, in terms of the Giants, the Nephilim, what's really happened here, like you would just, to know that real, 20-footers roam this place and ran this planet and beyond. Imagine, you wonder why people were living in the cliffs way up high in the middle of nowhere where you can't even get to. Well, I wonder why. We know why. We know who they were running from. These giants, very real, very, very, very real, in many different levels. It's not a question of, oh, they're real. They're real. There's many different levels, many different sizes, there's many different lineages. There's many different epics, ages, from Atlantis, Lemuria. They go beyond even what we know here in this country. Ancient. All of these life forms were different than me and you. Okay? I try to say this all the time, and I feel like I got to spoon feed it sometimes. I really, people need to digest this. We are a different life form than Noah. We are a different life form than Enoch, Methuselah. We're different completely. It's not talked about. It's not realized. Not mentioned. It's not a secret. They hide the secret in plain sight. They killed everyone, and they made us. They told you they reduced us to 120 years. So whatever was a human was modified. Noah, his offspring were the last of the old world. And we receded and populated in here. That's why when the water receded and Noah's sons and daughters went out in there was people everywhere that they were interacting with. People. The first human, us. Because they are not like us. They lived hundreds of years. Facts. We live 120. So there was a modification. A huge, huge event is what this was. They wiped out what was on this planet. They modified us down to 120. It's sitting conjecture, conspiracies, right out of your freaking Bible. That again, no one wants to read. It's the facts, Jack. So these entities are still here. It even says it in your Bible. It says they were still here after the water receded. And how could they not be? One of Noah's son's wives was a serpent seed, and she brought it through on the boat. These are facts, and it's all known. So when they went into Iraq and they found Nimrod or Gilgamesh buried in an ancient riverbed, his body disappeared. Well, they found a giant of giants, one of the most key you could ever imagine. They found him. And they whisked him off, just like you do all the giants, to the basement of the Smithsonian somewhere, right? But these things are real. This is all real, okay? And you need to understand this history because it affects you now. You might say, well, how's that? Well, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it, number one. Number two, you need to know how this place works, okay? Much love, Montana, okay? When this place was flooded out, those giants, the spirits of them, of the Nephilim specifically, were gathered up by the archangels. Okay? They were given power to tempt us. This is your world. This is what you need to be teaching everyone around you every day. These facts. These are facts. Take them to the Bible to show them if you have to. Okay? These jinn, the spirit of the Nephilim, of the giants, God said, guess what? We're going to keep you in existence. And your job is going to be to tempt man for the rest of his days. So that is the world we live in. That is what you live in. You live in a world where you are constantly tempted by jinn every day for whatever it may be your weaknesses. For that cigarette, for that alcohol, for that sex, for that drug, for that whatever. This is a sin that you have not mastered. They are here doing a job that God has sent them to do, to put. So for a long time, I didn't understand this, but now I do. And it's time you do, clearly. It's the scripture. And it is what is written on how this place operates. So bad, right when they did this, that Noah had to pray to God and ask God to change it, to take away, to ease the pain. There's too much. It was too much. Like, it was way too much. Like, people were fighting everywhere, basically. So, the archangels, Michael, Raphael, Uriel, they're sent down to gather up like 9/10 of the jinn. And only left 1/10. That is what we deal with today. It has been moderated already. The level in which the jinn can operate, how many were even left to tempt us, was cut down immediately because it was so much. It was so intense right at the gate. Noah couldn't handle it. His whole family, no one could handle it. So if it wasn't for Noah praying to God to have all this happen, it would have, I don't even know if we didn't, this world even wouldn't be the same. There's so much evil in it right now. Could you imagine it being 10 times worse? Like, there's no way. Like, it would have already come to an end, I feel. But maybe they knew that too. It was so wicked. Now remember, Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel. What does Enoch say? Enoch says that Raphael takes him on this journey. And where's he taking him? He takes him into this place in the planet. And what's he find? He finds Abel. Abel's calling up to God, praying to God for vengeance on Cain, on his entire seed, bloodline, praying to God, screaming for revenge, basically. He's like, what? He couldn't believe what he was seeing. And Raphael had to explain to him that this is a place where the souls go, they have complaints. Okay? He was shocked that freaking Abel, he just witnessed one of the first murdered souls, is still sitting there pleading God This is what it says. That's wild. That tells you this is definitely real. This is the same place that the cries reached heaven, and God heard them coming from, and he flooded the place out. Same place. I always see it in my mind as like being the lounge in Beetlejuice or something like it. Because Raphael goes on to say, we made places for all the souls. We made it for the bad souls, for the good souls over here. And it mentions the places that have complaints. The question now is where in the heck are these places on this planet, in this realm? Where are they at in the rock? Because they're there. They're somewhere. Call it Tibet, call it Mount Shasta, call it multiple places. I don't know. But he said it. He explained it. It's all there. But because people are ignorant and don't go seeking the truth, they miss all of this. Okay? So you now know how this place works. You now know how it's set up. You know how it operates. Okay? You know the fundamentals, you know the history of all this. What you need to do now is start working on the tools that you were given to work your magic. And no, this isn't sin. This is doing the holy magic. Going on doing the greater things that Jesus said you would do greater than he. Because you're doing nothing but using the skill and the knowledge that they gave you, that it gave you. You're doing nothing more than getting the game right. It all starts with you, obviously. You are a piece of God, let me remind you. If I need to wake you up to remind you of this. Nitty Bomb checking in, bro. It's been a minute, man. Thank you for that. Glad you're still breathing. I hope to see you again one day, man. Good people right there, Nitty Bomb, man. And look, that's why I say I feel like I need to I feel like something's happening to me. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I need to be giving this speech to larger crowds or something. Like more people they got me censored here. I'm in a basement. I don't grow. I never will grow from here on X. I'm me. Okay. I'm in the dungeon of censorship. Okay. So in the last place they want you to find, especially any youth. They don't want them knowing this. Because when you start churning out young righteous wizards, we turn the tables. It's simple. Use the tools that Jesus and God and them gave you and told you about simply. You speak things into existence. The Bible is basic instructions before leaving here. It truly is. And when you open it up, it's all code. It's also all code. When you open it up, it starts with God said, God said, God said. So stop, son. What did it just do? What did you just take from that? Well, I could see it just said, God said, God said, God said. Well, what did you take from that? I can see that it's speaking things into existence. Well, then there you go. There's your power. And you've never been taught it. To lock your mind in on what you want positively. You need to read. Before I can go any further with any of this, with any of you, with any advancement, you have got to reset. You have got to do it yourself. You have got to want it. You got to walk this out. You got to want it. You got to be making these changes in your life and going after it. You got to be giving up the temptations and mastering them. You have got to want it. If you do, you will unlock these doors. You will unlock them inside of you, in the temple of God that you are. And when you can't go down this path, you can't do nothing unless you correct the errors. And when you're constantly cursing yourself, that's where you have to begin. Steely, thank you for the coffees, brother. This is where you're constantly messing up. I can't do this. Yeah, it's too hard. Or the one that I'm telling you affects a lot of you. And like I said, write these things down. If you find yourself at a negative point during the day, pull out the phone, make a note of it, write it down. At the end of the day, you need to start going over this, reviewing your day, okay? And seeing how many times that you got into an argument with someone or something frustrating. You say, I'm so sick of this. And you find yourself sick in some way, fighting an ailment that you can never seem to overcome because you keep speaking it into existence, and you were programmed this way. And I'm trying to deprogram you, which no one else out here is doing. I'm trying to get you right. Okay? Because once you figure this out and you correct what you're speaking into existence, everything changes in front of you. It has no choice but to, because that's the way it was made. It's time. Right now. I know you feel it. Something's starting to change. You're starting to become conscious and you can feel it. You know it. And that I'm right. And that it's right. And you need to take that and run with it. And change the world around you. You are the power. This right here is the last thing they ever want. Right here. But this is all it's about. This is why I got to go beyond this. Time is short. I'm only in this body for a short time longer. And, I mean, life is short anyway. So it's like it has to be, like I said before, maybe I got to write a book or something, or chisel it in stone or something. I don't know what it takes here, but it's like we're running out of time. I feel like, dude, running around Alice in Wonderland, looking at the clock. I'm running out of time. I'm late. That's how I always feel. And like, there's nothing more important than this. There's nothing. Not a story, not like nothing. Someone wants to say there's something coming in the sky, the world's about to end. Oh, well, it's probably Jesus. Let him touch down. Mount of Olives, bitch. Like you should have been paying attention. It's going to get split in two. No one's perfect. I'm not perfect. I try to be. Look, I've changed a lot. But like, this isn't about being absolutely perfect. This is about attempting to be better, do better, improving, and showing that. And showing that you're trying to master these things. You've now been proven that a Godhead made this place, made this realm. You know why you're here. You're being tempted. Don't fail it. Someone was actually sent in the flesh and reminded you repeatedly of this. So you can't go in front of any Godhead, any source from here, and act like you don't know. You can't lie to the Godhead anyway. Come on. We're all part of the Akashic Conscious Record. We're all tapped in together anyway. Once you realize it expands everything anyway. This is how telepathy works. When you know how quantum entanglement starts to work. When you don't just hear these things, but you understand them. They begin to work. Again, thank you, Nitty Bomb. And what I got here? One from Spiro slid by. Oh, man. Choke me up, brother. Thank you. To the fullest. I mean, seriously, thank you. I need the feedback. Just show me that it's all worth it. And thank you to you guys out there that did make a change in your life. I see you guys doing it, and guys that I got around me that make changes. No one's perfect again. Everyone's got their own pace. I've seen Tacos making strives for it. Hoodie Ross. everybody out there attempting to do this, I wish you the best of luck. That's all that this is about, man. Something higher is watching and seeing if you are worthy of taking into another life where you can live a long time with righteous souls. And I want to see you there. That's what this is about. When he speaks of a new heaven and a new earth, that's what this is all about. 1,000 years this is what it's all about. It's passing this test. You don't get there unless you pass this test. You stay here in the soul trap, regurgitated. And if you don't overcome all of your material wants and needs, if you don't get it out of your system, you're coming back. It's what this is all about. And believe it or not, somewhere along the lines, as a soul, you probably signed up for this, or I don't agree with this whole way the whole thing is operating. Like, you should know. Everyone should know this. You shouldn't get to this point in life and just be finding it out from Dabu 7. But thank God you are, right? Better late than never. You should have been taught it in middle school. Whatever. You should have been taught in school. It's the key to life. How to live it, how to control it, how to maneuver through it. And being aware of the wickedness around you. That is here by design. And to knowing its function. Instead of flowing through this life blind to it all. Wow. I just watched something roll right in front of me. That was crazy. That was a good one. That was thick. That was thick. Oh, man. What do I do now? Where do we go? Okay. Well, it's over. All right. End the show. It's Pat. Wow. 12:13. Get lost in it. Close your eyes. Review your life. Speak positives at the end of your day tonight before you go to bed. Pray to God. Thank you for all the good things. And say what you are. That you're an intelligent being. That you are someone that can accomplish anything that you want to do. And just know this. Put all your worries into the hands of Jesus, into the Most High. As they ask you to do, God asks you repeatedly in the Bible to come to Him. God always says this repeatedly. He says, don't be egotistical. Don't go trying to figure this all out by yourself. Come to me. He says it over and over again. Okay? So, do that. Don't feel like it's a burden. He said to do this. Okay? Tap in. Okay? I'll leave you with this. Okay? We've got to start. There's got to be practice. I feel like I've got you started at the bottom here. Okay? We're at the bottom of where you need to be keeping track of what you're saying every day. And finding all the things, like if you're saying GD, like, gosh, you start to get GD out of your life. Make it, gosh darn it, gosh dang it, whatever you got to do. Make the little change. Start with that. Never say GD again. You're asking God to damn it. Listen, you are constantly cursing yourself, and I'm waking you up to this so you can change your life, dude. Okay? As soon as you do this, you're going to be amazed. I'm giving you power. God gave you power. He sent me to show you, I guess. Get it while it's hot. Because I definitely won't be around forever. I spend more time in thought than speaking sometimes now, because that's what you have to train to do, rather than, I want to say, oh, well, I'm sick of this stuff myself sometimes, like I got to stop myself right there. I need not say that. I need not say I'm sick of, I am of anything, and not put any kind of sickness on me and speak it. You see, any negativity, I need not say that I can't do anything. Not even joking. It's a spell. That's why they call it spelling. I'm hoping more than anything that I've gotten it through to you, that you have an ability now that you need to start putting to practice. Maybe you wake up tomorrow and you forgot it and you go on to your routine. You need to stop living in a circle of negativity. You have to stop it. Because all you're doing is you're continuing it. If you're feeding into it, you're continuing it. You got to break the cycle by speaking of things. And I don't know. I've seen a lot of different examples out there, and people where they're lost, it seems, every day in the same negative stuff. They say this it's the same negative stuff coming out of them every day, all the time, of something. And it's just like, shut up. I said that politely, but shut up. Seriously. Take no thought. Shut your mouth and quit talking all this negative and get right. Quit talking all this negative. Shut your mouth sometimes. And don't even speak it into existence. Okay? We all got to do it. Right? So, look, start there. Start correcting. And over time, I'm telling you, as we go here, you're going to see some improvement. And I wish you all well. Get to it. Get to changing things. I really hope to see some of you change. I hope to see it in you. If 30 days from now I look and some of you, especially those that I know, are living in a negative loop still, knowing that I've given you this information because I'm looking at you right now in the chat, that tells me that you never made a change. You never tried. You never really wanted to. No. You tell anything by its fruits. So you could talk all you want, but like when things really start to change around something, then you know that. Then you know. There's no faking this. There's no faking when it comes to the chrism. There's no faking when it comes to this righteousness and getting out of here. There's no faking and fooling God. You get too angry. If you're too sexually active, drink too much alcohol, all this, you sever your connection. This is something you have to build up and that you have to carry. And that you have to carry it like, possessed like jewels, carry it around like an egg that you don't want to drop. That is the energy that you're trying to baby and to rise and to nurture. You understand? It's a whole nother process, man. It's a whole nother thing. The process itself is a whole nother thing, but I've done giving you all these keys. So, all right, man. So talk myself down. Here's the last one. Lay down tonight. If you can, don't even think about anything I told you. Just do what Jesus asked. Take no thought for your life. Don't worry, did I take out the trash? Don't worry. Did I just, hear something? Or what am I going to do tomorrow? I got to get up at 6 a.m. Don't be thinking none of that. I'm serious. The best time to do this, honestly, is when you've come in from a long day and you're zapped. If you ever had them days where, like, when you lay out, like you crash out quick. It's when you lay down and you don't think of nothing. That's why Jesus says this: take no thought for your life. Something special happens. To me, it's a swirling, multicolor light that comes from your inner eye. That's what's seeing it. And whenever you first start to see this, you're going to try to look at it. You're always going to try to look at it. For years, I always tried to look at it until I gave up and I realized I was just really straining my eyes and just like fooling myself. Like, I had to learn to start seeing it with my mind's eye. And no, really, you seeing that it is an eye and that I can see with it. It's not easy, but over time you will do this. So when I started laying down, and you can't control this. Maybe you can, but he says you can. I found my best chances at where I'm telling you, where I'd lay down at night. I'm not thinking about what just happened on the show or anything. I'm just like nothing. I'm like exhausted. I'm just like silence. Let the mind stop. And when I do that, and my eyes are closed, my eyes don't even have to be closed now because I've done it for so long. I could actually see it with my eyes open, which is crazy. This swirl starts, and it's like a rainbow swirl of different colors. It starts, and within it is the craziest stuff, dude. It's the craziest stuff. It's whatever it wants to show me. And that's how it works. And it like pulsates. It comes in and out. Almost like a heartbeat. And it swirls. Changes color. And then once you lock onto it, you will start to see whatever source is trying to show you. There you go. And usually it's in this realm, this state, they fall asleep. And that's the hardest thing to do, is to maintain that state. And the whole thing comes with meditation and all this and being able to be good at it. And this is your connection. Take no thought for your life and seek the kingdom of God within you. He told you this over and over. Over and over, he told you this. So I'm just relaying the message and leaving you with that. Wishing you luck. Again, it can all be found. It's cracking open the Bibles. Cracking open the cookbook, seeking this knowledge. Nothing that I've said here tonight, nothing is mystic or new age or crazy or wild or no. These are words from the man himself, man. And you can choose to ignore it like you always do. And that's meant for you. Or not. And whoever that was meant for, it was meant for. I say these things because I'm meant to reach some of you in a different way. So if you felt it was meant for you, it was meant for you. Do something about it. If not, it wasn't meant for you. Much love. Gonna shut it down, man. Stay righteous. I don't know what else I could say after saying all that, man. You either seek or you don't. From here. Good night, Illuminati fam. Pure Bloods. Thank you, Jay from the Ville. Member for 14 months. Everybody else. Everybody in the underground. Much love. Time to stand up. Hopefully I see some of you guys in the flesh. before it's all. Still working on some things for the conference. And, yeah. Just much love. God bless. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Again, stealing. Death. Wake up, America. All you guys, thank you. Thank you, Kev Bar, so much. Deanna for everything. And I don't think I got it in at the end of the last stream because of the way it ended. But thank you, Eon, the legendary Eon. I'm not sure if he's even here tonight, but much love and thank you as always, man. All you guys. All the support, 777 out there. Much love. Pray without ceasing. You got that right. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Don't be one of them people that gets offended by this because you gotta do something. You were sent here to do stuff, not be a bump on a law. And sit there and sin all week and think someone's gonna save you. You need to leave that behind and get with it before you get left behind. Eon, I see you. Much love. Much love, everybody. God bless. I don't think I said it tonight, but as I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I will see you here next time for some Underground World News Live.